Republic of Nigeria. You can please have your seats now. Thank you so much. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to the 2021 Social Innovators Program and Awards SIPA by LEAP Africa. That's a good place to applaud. All protocols duly observed. I'd like to give us some kind of background as to why we're here today in the event that there are some of us who may need some reminding and just a few information that we will find very useful. So the SIPA is a platform for showcasing and celebrating young social change makers between the ages of 18 and 35. Now, their ideas and initiatives offer effective solutions to challenges in local communities across West Africa. And through SIPA, LEAP Africa is increasing awareness of the innovative solutions of young West Africans, equipping and empowering them with requisite skills and effective tools for building sustainable social enterprises. Since 2013, about 8 years now, LEAP Africa is collaborating with its partners, and together they have supported about 170 talented social innovators who are on the path to building sustainable enterprises and helping them also scale their impact, which I think is brilliant. They're also helping them leverage the framework of the global goals, we remember that, and their solutions cover diverse sectors and aspects of development, such as agriculture, education, science and technology, gender, employment, health, energy, human rights. All of these things affect human beings. And so the SIP Awards will wrap up its fellowship this year, hosting and projecting these positive stories and the impact of these young social innovators whose initiatives have improved the livelihood of millions across the nation and across the continent, Africa. It is also a conference to inspire more young people whom we have present here today, joining us virtually, or we have at home. And so we can take these stories back home to our children, our siblings, our nieces and nephews, and our friends and neighbors, and our colleagues, etc. Because the people that you will see here today are people who have impacted lives, millions of lives for that matter. And so irrespective of their economic status, their cultural backgrounds and social positioning, they have, of course, answered the call and paid attention to the opportunities and gaps in social entrepreneurship in Africa. Now, I will be moderating the event today. I have the singular honor of doing that, and it's only right that I introduce myself to you. My name is Bella Rose Okoje. I'm an honor personality. I am a writer, I'm a content creator, and I am also a professional conference host. Thank you for that. I will be your host for the conference today. But before we proceed, there's a little bit of housekeeping I would like for us to do. Like I said earlier, the awardees that we will meet today are people who have impacted lives, both physically, virtually, and otherwise. And speaking of a virtual audience, we do have one who are joining this program today via Hopin. And I just hope that we can get the feed from there as soon as possible so we can see them and just, say hello to them and show you just how awesome this hybrid conference is, both physical and virtual. And so for those who are on the Hopin platform, I hope that you can hear me. We'll try to get the video feed very, very soon. But I'd also like to say that for those who have joined us virtually, there are a lot of things that we're going to do physically that you can also benefit from online. There's the main stage. For some of us who have used Hopin, I'm sure this is very familiar to us. The main stage session where I'm sure you can see me right now. And there's also the networking and expo tabs, which we are going to explore in a bit as the conference goes on. We plan to, of course, ensure that because you are virtual does not mean that you will not enjoy the event today. So we want to make sure that you enjoy it like you were here physically and not missing anything. And at the appropriate time, we will open up the breakout tabs where we will also have our own networking sessions here in person. Our virtual audience will also do the same. They can enter into any of the networking rooms that Hopin will provide for them and, get to meet with people, etc. The application will recommend a few people to you to meet for about 2 minutes. It's really awesome, I tell you. And so I'm sure that we are going to have a really good time, even if we are joining virtually. Now, every one of us, of course, in this room today will have the opportunity of meeting our partners and our sponsors and people who have held our hands for the longest time with regards to the Social Innovators program. And so it would be nice for us to pay attention to these things, listen to what they have to say, and also appreciate the work that they are doing by coming with us on this journey. Let's also not forget that the hashtag for this awesome event is hashtag SIPA 2021. It's very catchy. SIPA 2021 sounds like a rhyme, right? Am I? So it's LEAPSIPA 2021. That is our official hashtag. If you can get online and talk about this, that would be awesome. Or you want to mention us on Instagram. I saw a number of people taking really nice pictures outside on our media wall there. So please do so. Share your thoughts and your comments on some conversations that we are also going to have as the conference progresses. Send them to Twitter or Instagram at LEAP Africa. That's at LEAPAFRICA. So real quickly, I would like to sort of give us an idea of what we should look out for today. I have said to share your comments and your thoughts, but it's like, okay, Bella, what exactly are we expecting? And so very soon we're going to have a welcome address, and we'll also have an opening remark shared. I will let you know who will be taking us on this. We also have some beautiful music coming up. How many of us here do love music? No show of hands. There you go. So yes, there'll be some very interesting, conversations that we're also going to have. Conversations that need to be had will be had today, and I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. We also have some speed talk sessions from some of our guests, and I'm looking forward to that as well. We have a talk on African youth exploitation abroad. Who is to blame? That should make you sigh and at the same time be very expectant, because it's going to be a very power-packed one. So look out for that. We also will be having a spoken word session. I love poetry, so look out for that as well. And of course, we are going to at some point be presenting awards to awardees. Everyone is doing really great in their different circles and whatnot, but we are going to also award some outstanding fellows today. So please look out for that, and don't forget to support them with your applause, with your screams, and all of those things. I'm excited that we are going from hype to impact, all right? That is really exciting for me. So look out for how your mind will also get some transformation from the conversations that we'll have today. So it goes from just the screaming and the excitement to actual impact, which is, of course, more long-lasting. And so to set the ball rolling, after I have shared a few things that you should look out for, I'd like to make welcome the Chief Operating Officer of LEAP Africa and the person of Kehinde Ayeni to give us her opening remarks.
Thank you so much. A very fine morning to you all. Very excited to be able to gather again post-COVID at Musan. My name is Kehinde Ayeni, and I'm very happy to open today's event. Dear partners, sponsors, special guests, colleagues, fellows, alumni, friends, and virtual audience, welcome to the 9th edition of the Social Innovators Program and Awards. We are gathered today to celebrate the creativity and innovation of changemakers who, in spite of the hurts, circumstances, challenges, and setbacks, are setting a new track records in their fields. I must reiterate today that young people are the solution. They are critical mass and part of the solution not to be ignored, and we should make room, seats, platforms available for them to thrive. Social innovation and entrepreneurship have to a large extent been demystified through various forums, and Leap Africa's Social Innovators Program and Awards is one of such platforms. There can never be too many conversations about social entrepreneurship. Therefore, today, we open and intend to deepen the conversation on youth in action, moving from hype to impact. If anything at all, we are in a very difficult and exciting time. We should challenge us to seek out how more agents of change can emerge, how to adequately foster collaboration to ensure safe spaces and environments for innovations across industries hinged on social impact. As we celebrate the outgoing cohorts of fellows, they rightly tag themselves the resilient cohort, we will welcome our new cohort, a new and dynamic set of Africans from Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. We equally celebrate our partners and sponsors who are invested in our fellows, Union Bank of Nigeria and Sahara Foundation, who have supported our journey to scaling out. Union Bank is a long-standing partner and has worked with us every step since 2014. A round of applause, please. The Social Impact Fund is driven by Sahara Foundation and is facilitating ideas and solutions towards increasing access to clean energy, mobilizing partnerships to promote the Sustainable Development Goals, and inspiring a good governance paradigm shift. This year, we are hosting a special panel session on countering trafficking in persons in partnership with the USAID and Palladium under the SCALE project. Our speakers today will address the elephant in the room, youth migration out of Africa. A United Nations report reveals that 27 young people leave their countries of birth to seek employment abroad as international migrants. A 2020 Trafficking in Persons report estimates that 80% of all female Nigerian migrants in Italy are or will become victims of sex trafficking. It is evident that there are several often interrelated factors that make certain groups of people vulnerable to trafficking. Poverty, unemployment, underemployment, large family sizes, parental pressure, eroded mindsets and values, cultural norms, limited education, economic decline, and uncertainties, to mention a few. Again, it is apparent that we have a regional menace on our hands. As I bring this to a close, I would like to acknowledge our virtual audience. Thank you for joining us. And to every one of you in the room, together with our virtual audience, I want to assure you of a rich conversation and practical actions to move us from hype to impact. Thank you.
Please your hands together for Kehinde Ayeni. Thank you so much. Okay. Are we having a good time so far? I think I should ask that. Or you feel like it's a bit too early for that? Do you feel like it's too early to have a good time? It's too early. There you go. That's the energy that I'm looking for. It is never too early to have a good time. And of course, thank you so much to Kehinde for that beautiful, very soothing opening remark. Appreciate you for that. Now, to carry on this beautiful morning, I would like to welcome another really inspiring leader and someone who has, just shown how much of how far support can go and what it means to projects like this. The next person I will invite to give us a welcome address is the head of strategic communications at Union Bank. And very interesting fact, Union Bank happened to be our official and longest time sponsor of the Social Innovators programs and awards. That's a good place to applaud. They have worked with Leap Africa to support the growth and development of Nigerian social innovators since 2014. Kende did mention that under the sustainability arm of the bank. And I am honored to welcome on the stage this beautiful morning for her welcome address, Kemi Ogunleye, Head of Strategic Communications at Union Bank. The agreement was to not stop clapping until she gets here.
It's intimidating being up here, so well done. Kudos to you, Bella Rose. Good morning, everyone, again, to all our distinguished guests, both here and those who are joining us virtually. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here on behalf of Union Bank, as she said. And I'm very, very happy and delighted to welcome you all to the 2021 SIP Awards ceremony. Like has been said already, Union Bank has partnered with Leap Africa on the SIP Social Innovators program for 8 years now, I believe. The partnership started 8 years ago. And over the last 8 years, more than 150 SIP fellows from across Nigeria have been directly impacted by this program, and they have gone on to identify pressing social challenges and develop innovative solutions to these challenges. So we're very, very proud of the impact we have made over the last 8 years. It's partnerships like this that allow us to amplify our efforts to create social impact and to enable success for the average Nigerian. We're also very proud of the SIP fellows who have done and continue to do their part in supporting underserved communities, especially in these times where several communities have been adversely affected by the coronavirus pandemic. As a bank, we are committed to doing more to support the work that the SIP fellows do. Through the years, our support for the Social Innovators program has continued to increase as the program has evolved. Union Bank employees volunteer as facilitators, mentors, judges. In every way that we can, we participate in the program. We teach modules such as brand building and strategy, which we take in our department in the bank. We've also expanded our commitment to include partnerships with some of the fellows who have gone on to do really, really exciting and impactful things, including Mama Money Empowerment Foundation, Vic Fold Recyclers, and Rural Development and Reformation Foundation. So today, as a 2021 SIP cohort graduate, and as we welcome the new fellows from around West Africa to the 2021-2022 cohort, we charge all of you to continue the great work of creating sustainable impact in your communities. We at Union Bank look forward to a sustained engagement with Leap Africa on SIP as we continue to champion the cause for social impact. We hope that in the next 8, 10 years and beyond, we can still continue to do work, greater work, and see more impact as we move, like you say, from hype to impact. So on behalf of Union Bank, I thank you all again for being here. I thank you for joining us, and I wish everyone here the best in their future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much, Kemi. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you, too. Please put your hands together for her once again. Thank you for that. I think one thing that stood out for me was her comment on the module that they teach in her department. I like the personal touch that is added to that. It's great to have partners who are not distant from the cause, but are actually a part of the impact that's going on. Thank you so much to Union Bank. Now, moving on real quickly, we do have this year an interesting lineup of speakers, and they will be sharing invaluable insights around our theme, from hype to impact. I think it's a very lovely theme, from hype to impact, away from the noise that people aged between 18 and 35 are somewhat famous for. So let's talk impact now. You know, the hype will come, it will die down. So what next after the hype? So it's great that we are addressing that. And so today we will have 3 TED-style lightning talks that will be delivered by our 3 amazing speakers. We have about 2 of them joining us virtually, while one of them is here and will be speaking to us in person. So please sit back and enjoy our incredible speakers. Our first speaker today is going to be joining us virtually. Jeru Bilimoria is the founder of several innovative and award-winning NGOs and has over 20 years experience running systems change organizations. She is a Skoll awardee, an Ashoka and Schwab Fellow, and among her organizations are Child and Youth Finance International, CYFI, and Aflatun International. Now, CYFI has created a global network of partners who have collectively created meaningful change in financial inclusion and economic citizenship education for young people in, wait for it, over 160 countries. That's a good place to applaud. Aflatun, on the other hand, Aflatun International has succeeded in working with global partners to provide social and financial education to over 1 million children in 100 countries. Think about the ripple effect of teaching 1 million children something. It's amazing. But prior to this, Jeru founded Childline India and Child Helpline International, which have both facilitated a global movement for protection of children and youth and are active in more than 181 countries, having responded to over 160 million calls. Jeru is now founder of One Family Foundation, which incubates social innovations and applies the systems change methodology to help organizations scale. Now, as of 2 years ago, June precisely of 2019, One Family Foundation is anchoring Catalyst 2030, initiated by leading social entrepreneurs from Ashoka, Echoing Green, the Schwab Foundation, the Skoll Foundation, and other global networks of social entrepreneurs. The group is inclusive and is rapidly expanding to include governments, funders, bilateral organizations, multilateral organizations, and others that are seeking the timely achievement of the SDGs. Catalyst 2030 was launched at the World Economic Forum in January of last year, and it aims to accelerate progress towards the SDGs by radically transforming social innovation ecosystems and, more importantly, driving systems change interventions at the country level. It's my singular honor to welcome today virtually our first Speed Talk speaker, Jeru Bilimoria.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Leap Africa Summit. My name is Jeru Bilimoria, and I have been a social entrepreneur since the ripe old age of 16 when I first started my first initiative. I'm 56 now, so that's 40 years along the way. And what I'm trying to do is share some of my experiences, what I've learned along the way, and I hope that that will inspire you, guide you, and hopefully not make some of the same mistakes that I have made. I'm sure you'll make a lot of your own, but this is what I'm here to share with you. So let me start with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about things in the way I did the mistakes, what I learned, and how to take it forward. Having started multiple social enterprises, I think the one thing I learned, actually my first enterprise and the second which I started were successes, and the third one failed, absolutely failed. I started with a friend, And at that time, I was feeling really, really miserable and a total failure. And today, when I look back, I would say it was the best thing that ever happened because it was what made me who I am today. So, lesson number one, you're definitely going to have lots of mistakes and fail. And don't let that get you down. Just pick up and go right on. And that's what's going to take you to phase two, phase three, and from success to success or failure to success. So that would be my first thing. Embrace failure, learn from your mistakes, and take it forward. So that was the first thing which I learned. As I started my second enterprise, or rather my third, which I've lost track of numbering, was Childline, which was working with street children and starting a phone service for street children, which started in Bombay, today is national. And then we took this whole concept international. In that, when I was working with my street kids, I learned some of the most important lessons of my life. And one of the most important lessons that I learned with that was listening. Listening to what the people you work with have to say and developing your products, your services, your programs, whatever you choose to call it, around what the people you work with want. So, giving a concrete example, Childline was a phone service, but the street kids used to go from Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta by train. So they wanted just one number and not 10 different numbers to remember. That's why the first thing we had to do was to actually work with the government to try to get a toll-free number so street kids could call around. So it was basically based on the character of the people we worked with that we developed the service. We made it 24 hours because the children said social workers are there during the day, but nobody is there to support them at night. And therefore, the service became 24 hours so that whenever the kid needs us, we are there. And that's listening and that's delivering. Another thing we started having to do as we started getting the phone calls is actually realizing that there were many government policies which were wrong. So we needed to change those policies. And that was the systems change that we started bringing about, where we worked with the government to make policies and partner with the government to make things happen. And I say, last but not the least, if you have a service, then the most important thing in the service is to have the people you work with actually criticize you. So we started something called street adalats, which were basically where the kids would come to say what the workers did wrong. So that became a way to actually make the service grow better. That's how Childline started. Today, it's very different from where it started because the needs have changed, the types of phone calls have changed, everything has changed. But the basic essence remains, which is listening to the people you're working with. That was my first lesson. And it's a very simple thing. Again, I'm going to give you some street knowledge. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. So listen more than you speak. And that was one of the lessons. And I say that because that's what's going to guide you. A successful entrepreneur is an entrepreneur who listens. So first lesson, embrace failure and look at it on how you can succeed and get out of it. Second lesson, always listen. And based on your listening, create a strategy and work with the strategy. As I left India and moved abroad, one of the things I learned is, well, actually living in India and doing things as challenging as it is much easier than living and being a second-class citizen in a foreign country, which is what I am. So my third lesson, as I started to develop 3 global organizations while living in the Netherlands, was learn to take being a second-class citizen with a smile. A difficult lesson. And this is for those of you who may plan to move out and think, oh, there's nothing wrong in being with my country and moving. If you move, you'll be, whatever you do, a second-class citizen. And even sometimes in your own country, you may be that. So, whatever the insults, whatever comes, don't get angry. Smile in your journey towards change. That is the next thing that I'm going to tell you. And as you're doing that, remember the glass is always full, always, always full. And that's something you also need to remember. My last message that I'm going to give you, so don't get discouraged, just keep going. And even if you're treated badly, even if you're treated like a second class citizen, when you go to government officials, all to businesses, and they treat you like a fly on the wall, don't worry. Just smile, think of it as part of the journey, and then take it through. So that would be the other thing which I would tell you. The last part of my journey, which I would tell you, is as you get successful, don't get arrogant. It's difficult to say because with success comes, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this. But I, again, was always asked a question, and my mother said this, which is, what is it that you have done that you need to be so arrogant about what you have? And when you're young, you're more arrogant. When you're old, you're less so. So I think the question which I ask myself when I go to sleep is, how many lives have I helped? How many people have I helped? And then I always remember what I am. I'm just a drop in the ocean. I'm just one among a billion people. So what you're doing is you're doing, as I would say, your job, or what you are destined to do, or what is the future and your path you have. I don't say I'm a super success as an entrepreneur, but I have impacted and tried to change the lives of several million people. And in my journey, these are the 5 things. Embrace your mistakes, learn from them, don't take yourself too seriously. You'll be given lots of no's and treated badly, but just look at the positive. The glass is full. And then don't ever get arrogant. Just remember, you're one in a billion. And what you're doing, you have to do. If you look at all of this, was my learning, this is my journey. I'm still on my journey. I make a lot of mistakes as I go, but I accept them, I share them, and I take them forward. My last tip to you in my journey is, a river originates in the mountain and it goes to the sea. Through it, it has to go through land, it has to go through mountains, it has to pass through forests to get to its destination. Your life as an entrepreneur is your journey. Some parts will be easy, some parts will be difficult, but don't give up. Remember, your destination is the sea. Take it that way, and that's all I can say. Be happy and try to make what you can. This may not be the lesson you wanted in terms of entrepreneurship and management and all of those. Those are skills you can learn in textbooks. What I'm telling you are experiences I learned in my journey as an entrepreneur. And if any of you ever want to get in touch with me, to have a chat, to talk, I'm always welcome and there for you. I can also, when time comes, have sessions with you, however you want. Feel free to email me, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm sure the Leap Africa team will do it. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your summit, and thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you, Jeru. Wow. Isn't it something when someone has accomplished, as Jeru says, she's still on her journey and still making mistakes? I think it's a teachable moment as well for as many of us who are a bit hard on ourselves for small mistakes. She also said, accept your mistakes and your failures. She said her mistakes made her who she is today, and she's grateful for them. And always look at the glass as always full. Please, can we applaud Jeru one more time for that brilliant, brilliant talk? Now we'll just keep going as fast as we possibly can. We've got quite a few things to do today. Our next speed talk speaker is also going to be joining us virtually. She really wanted to be here physically, but, well, things happened otherwise. She is Angel Adelaja, with a BSc in biology from Temple University, and her being trained as an epidemiologist from the Michigan State University, Angel Adelaja is a development consultant and entrepreneur. Through her consultancy, she formulates inclusive growth strategies for governments and organizations, specifically developing good governance strategies to reduce health disparity, poverty, unemployment, and boost agricultural and economic development. But she's also one with experience in international relations, private sector engagement, and fund sourcing. She is co-founder of WeFarmAfrica.org and the CEO and founder of Fresh Direct Produce and Agro-Allied Services. She brings communities together with agricultural technologies to strengthen the agricultural value chain, focused on developmental economics and women and youth empowerment, and utilizing grassroots campaigns, technology, and innovation to assist these groups in solving global issues, especially in agriculture. Angel wears another hat as owner of Zahara Empresa, an Abuja-based mega spa and salon. She has served as technical assistant and research consultant to the DG of the Office of Economic Development and Partnership in the Office of the Osun State Governor. Consultancy still ongoing. She's also the special assistant to the senior special advisor to the president on poverty alleviation and national coordinator of the National Poverty Eradication Program, NAPEP, and she's a consultant to the senior special advisor to the president on wealth creation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our next speaker, Angel Adelaja.
Inside these shipping containers, in the city of Abuja, Nigeria, entrepreneur Angel Adelaja has built a farm.
We started with an empty plot and a lot of stress, but we just said we'd try, and it worked. We're the first in containerized farming in Africa.
There are no fields or soil needed. The team is using hydroponics to grow leafy greens and luxury salads, using just nutrient-infused water and LED lights.
But because of hydroponic farming, we're able to grow a variety of products that are not normally comfortable growing in Nigeria, and then we can grow them year-round, whether it's rainy season or dry season.
This means better job security for her urban farmers, who are mainly young women.
Hi everybody, my name is Angel Adelaja Kuye. I'm supposed to be with you right now, but I can't due to COVID restrictions. But I am here with you in spirit for this 2021 SIPA Awards. I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts and tidbits to be able to add to the conversation that we're having on this year's topic, which is youth in action, from hype to impact. And so with that being said, let me formally introduce myself. I'm the founder of Fresh Direct Nigeria. Now, Fresh Direct Nigeria is a social impact company, right? And so we are focused on how to use technology and agriculture to create livelihoods for individuals and to use technology to make it easier and lower the barrier of entry into agriculture. What do? We grow hydroponic produce vertically in Abuja. And so we focus on young people, training them experientially, and making sure that they have the skills to be able to produce nutritious, quality food for people in the urban centers. And this is just a way for us to be able to achieve Goal 2 and Goal 1 while making sure that we add to the food system in a sustainable way. And so we're focusing on agriculture in a green way, focusing on agriculture in an efficient way, focusing on the science of agriculture, which is what I love. So that's what we do. Now, with the topic in mind, We are in Nigeria, and being in Nigeria, it's very, very easy to get caught up in the hype. Everything is about packaging. Everything is about how to present yourself and how to make yourself seem greater than life in this setting. But the reality is, all of that hype, if it doesn't lead to impact, it means nothing. And the truth of the matter is that people really like you if you are your authentic self. So when you're doing all of the packaging, you have to keep in mind that people can miss who the real authentic you is. And if they're missing the real authentic you, they're missing the value that you are actually adding to this social enterprise that you are building. So now, what does that really mean? It means that if you're focused on hype, then and you're not focused on measuring and monitoring the impact that your company has on people, then it means that you're not really going to be reaching the goals that you expect for yourself. And at the end of the day, people really want to support something that's authentic, something that's amazing, something that's adding value. So what are the ways in which we can focus on impact more and really value those people who are bringing impact? And I'm going to talk about the following things. Number one, when you are doing something that is authentic to you, nobody's going to ever stop you from keeping the momentum on what it is that you're doing. There are going to be highs, there are going to be lows, there are going to be challenges, but nobody can stop you. For example, when I started Fresh Direct, everybody thought I was crazy because they didn't understand what I really wanted to do. So at the time, people weren't really doing hydroponic farming in Nigeria. Nobody was doing vertical farming in Nigeria, and they didn't understand where this was coming from. You have so much land. Why not go to the rural areas? Why not do this? Why not do that? Why not do this? But I knew what it is that I wanted to do. And when you are authentic to you and you believe in what it is that you're doing, you don't even mind. They will call you crazy until they call you genius. And when you're successful, you go from being crazy to being genius. You go from being cookie to being creative. You're going to go from being somebody that they just don't understand to somebody who thinks outside the box. So don't be discouraged. Be your authentic self and make sure that you stay true to what it is that you want to do. Now, number two, don't measure your impact by the number of YouTube followers that you have. Don't measure your impact by the number of people that invite you to speak at events. Don't measure your impact by the number of people that know your name. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about the value that you want to bring. I don't think I have more than 2,000 followers on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. So I don't have many followers, right? And that doesn't matter because I'm still doing something that's meaningful. And I'm doing something meaningful enough that the right people have started to follow me and see what it is that I'm doing and want to support what it is that I'm doing. So the focus should not be on the accolades that you'll get and the rewards from other people. It should be the focus on you reaching your milestones, you reaching your goals. Let me add an experience for you. With what I've been doing with Fresh Direct Nigeria, there came a time for me where I had to really assess and decide what it is that I am really doing, right? Because I was getting so many calls from CNN, BBC, all of these other individuals. I needed to be real with myself and say, do I need to focus on those interviews? Or do I need to focus on making sure that my company is meeting the milestones that it needs to meet? And so it's very easy to get swept up in the hype of being that CEO, being that boss, being the one who presents your company and on a global front, traveling here and there. But then sometimes you need to just take a step back. Take a step back and think about what value does it have in my business. So sometimes it's really good. Sometimes the publicity gets your foot in the door. But sometimes good numbers get your foot in the door. Isn't that what really matters? One of the things that I've been able to learn over time is that if you're able to sit down and do a realistic assessment of your company, of what it is that you're doing year on year, and you at the end of every year, you look to see how far you've gone, even on a quarterly basis, you'll start to see forward movement and forward traction. You should be more excited about that than the hype that people are bringing because what it is that you're doing is new or novel. It's very easy to get swept up in the hype because people, once they realize that what you're doing is cool, want you to come. But if that's not translating to sales, if that's not translating to impact, if that's not translating to investment, why are you wasting your time? And that comes to another thing. You need to be able to realistically measure what it is that you're doing, right? And with that comes data. So focus less on the social aspect and focus more on the data that you're able to capture, the proper structures that you have in place to be able to capture that information. And once you're able to do that, you'll see that you can actually measure and track your success. And that is a big motivator. In the same vein, number 4 is that you need to make money. It's really, really good for you to have an even balance between the impacts that you're making and the revenue that you're making. So much so that the revenue that you're making should be able to help you to drive more impact, but you cannot drive yourself into the ground. You have to be able to pay your salary for yourself, for your staff. You need to be able to make sure that the business stays afloat. You need to be able to make sure that you are sustainable. Sustainability in so many other senses, but sustainability in the sense that tomorrow your doors will still be open and you're still going to have to be able to pay your team members and you're still going to be able to have to make that impact. So when your doors stay open, the impact can continue. So also start to think about that sustainability and make sure that your impact is also driven in a sustainable fashion. And number 5, let me just be real. You want to be able to look back on your journey as an entrepreneur and say, this has been worth it. It's been worth it. All of the sleepless nights, all of the work that you've done, all of the sacrifices that you and your team members have made has been worth it. You've seen the faces of the people who have benefited from your innovation. You have seen the faces of the team members that light up because they see how much impact they're having. And at the end of the day, you can go home and you see your family and they are proud of you. And with all of those things ring true, then you know that you have moved from hype to impact. And so in this year of 2021, in this country that we're in, let us make sure that since things are not the same, we're not going to be the same. We're not going to subscribe to the same social pressures. We're not going to let those social pressures affect our businesses. We're going to go out there. We are going to thrive. We are going to get up. We are going to grind. And we are going to shine. And we're going to make sure that it's all for the right reasons. So thank you very much for listening.
I think that applause could be louder. How many of us were on that fell from the table when she said social media is not impact? She broke that table, shattered it to smithereens. And I think we sort of get an idea of what that can be like with regards to the blackouts that happened a few days ago, right? How are you able to hold on to the impact that you've made when some of these things are not even available? That was so solid. It's not by your Instagram and Twitter followers. It's hot. But well, tough love, huh? Thank you so much to Angel Adilaja for that brilliant presentation. Your hands together for her once again. Now we'd like to go for a quick musical interlude just to sort of pour cold water on our scotch hearts. And our first artist today has featured on several global stages, serenading diverse audiences with her incredible voice. She's someone who has also graced the stages of the best, most competitive reality shows in the country and the world at large, and has made a name for herself from these places and has proven to the entire world that beyond the competition, the talent is definitely there, and that is really all that matters. For her very highly anticipated performance at SIPA 2021, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome the delectable, incredibly talented Naomi Mack. Don't worry, when she has finished, you will see, you will understand. Your hands together once again, please.
Well, thank you all so much. I'm so honored to be a part of this. I'm so honored to be sharing my music with you all. Thank you once again. Big brother, shout out to you and I love you so much. Yes, so this morning I'm going to be singing two songs. Oh, afternoon already, I guess. I'll be singing two songs. The first one is titled Fix Me. As we all strive to make an impact, we all know that we have to be whole by ourselves as human beings for us to make an impact. And so to start fixing the world, we need to start by fixing ourselves. So I hope you like it. And I hope you're blessed with this one, Fix Me by Naomi Mack.
House One Records.
Fix me, I can fix the world. If you fix you, you can fix the world. If I fix me, I can change the world, make it work. Hey, oh, if I fix me, I can change the world. If you fix you, yes you can. You can change the world. If I fix me, I can fix the world. If you fix you, then you can change the world. Okay, so thank you so much. Sorry. Can I have a bit of volume for the second song? So the title of the second song is I Am. While you fix yourself, you realize so much to you that you did not know about yourself. And then you have that confidence to stand up strong. And you tell whatever is going on around you that I am much more. I am victorious. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am so much more. And that's what the song is about. I am. Can I have my volume, please? Thank you. A little bit more. I am. Yeah. See, some just underestimate me. They just try to analyze me, yeah. Oh, yes, some people overrate me, but they cannot understand me. Oh, see, I'm a symphony that starts when the music stops, a rhythm in the perfect melody that drops, a little bit of hope. I hold on to this rope. I'm a shooting star, yes I am, and they must know. A shining light to brighten up every home. I'm a salt to taste. I am, yeah. Oh, I am, yeah. You see, people try to overtake you. Yes, they try to bring you down. They try to bring you down. They play a wrong tune to your melody. And you know what? Some just want to change your song. But see, you are a symphony that starts when the music stops. A rhythm in a perfect melody that drops. You're a little bit of hope. You hold on to the rope. Come on, let's do it like this together. You're a shooting star, yes you are, and they must know. A shining light, you brighten up every home. You're a soul to taste. See, yes you are. Tell them I am. I'm a symphony that starts when the music stops. I'm a rhythm in a perfect melody that drops. I'm a little bit of hope. I hold on to this rope, yeah. I'm a shooting star, yes I am, and they must know. Say, I'm a shining light to brighten up every home. I'm a soul to taste. I am. Oh, I am perfection. I am perfection. I am beautiful. You look to that thing and you say, I am glorious. I'm victorious. I am perfect. I am so much more. Yeah. I'm a symphony that starts when the music stops. A rhythm in the perfect melody that drops. A little bit of hope. And when I walk into that room, I'm a shooting star. Yes, I am, if they must know. I'm a shining light to brighten up every home. You're a soul to taste, and yes, you make a difference, yeah. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Naomi Mack. I warned you. I warned you, didn't I? If you want to holla, holla. That was beautiful, beautiful. I told you that she is incredibly talented. Good one. I know she's got some new music coming, so I'd like for us to please look out for that and support this great lady here. Your hands together for her once again. Well done, well done. Are we having a good time so far? Awesome. That yes can be louder. Are we having a good time so far? It's about to get better. Our next speed talk speaker is someone who was able to change my father of blessed memory's mind about rap in Nigeria. My dad would say, you cannot rap more than the American. And you can't speak English more than the British man. But M.I. Judah Baga changed my dad's mind about that. I've not finished. Please sit down first. Jude Abaga, known by his stage name M.I. Abaga, was born in Jos Plateau State. He is widely heralded as Africa's most commercially successful rapper. He first tasted mainstream success in 2008 with his debut album, Talk About It, which sold 30,000 copies in the first 30 minutes. The largest sales recorded at that time. That album was a watershed moment for Nigeria's hip-hop community, laying out the much-needed blueprint for commercial success selling rap in Africa. His music was largely based on his experience as a kid from war-torn Jos and his immersive experience while earning a business degree from Calvin College, Michigan. His love for melody and understanding of music at high school and in the choir was infused with the heavy beats and poetic delivery of American rappers like Jay-Z and DMX, crafting the early parts of his trademark punchline-heavy musical style. M.I. is widely known for his commitment to innovation in producing and marketing his music, as well as showcasing young talent. His MI2 album, which happens to be my favorite, by the way, remains Nigeria's best-selling hip-hop album. And after taking a 4-year hiatus from music, he returned with the Chairman album and did over 25 million streams in less than 1 month. His 2018 release, Rendezvous, featured a mishmash of burgeoning young talent and members of the country's alt-tech community. And he also holds the record for the most albums, 5 in number, charting simultaneously on Apple Music in Nigeria. But beyond his music, M.I. is also a brand favorite, holding ambassadorship positions with brands like Globalcom Limited, Martell, and Hennessy. That's done. But I'm done with that. Okay. Beyond his music, M.I. is a brand favorite, holding ambassadorship positions with brands like Martell and Hennessy, and of course a few others that have that did not get renewed for whatever reason. But it gives me great pleasure. It's an honor to welcome to the stage our third Speed Talk speaker at SIPA 2021, Mr. Incredible M.I. Abaga.
Good morning, everyone. Such an honor to be here. I think that the oil business is a tough one. It's very hard. And if I were to be the CEO of an oil business, I think I would just tell my team, let's be quiet, let's not make noise. You know what I mean? People get very upset about oil and the whole. And so for Sahara to have this foundation and for them to show up here and to do this great work, I think it's commendable, and we want to honor that and acknowledge that. Thank you. To Union Bank also, it's really amazing. I met a young lady here. Her name is Angel Aduke from Union Bank. And if there's executives here, she should be. She's amazing. She spoke so glowingly about the bank. You know, promote her, whatever, you know. Thank you. Also, I want to just acknowledge Leap Africa and what they've done. We'll come back to it, but what an amazing legacy, and all the years you guys have done it, you know, one day we'll look back and we'll be very grateful that you guys existed and you did this thing that you're doing. God bless you guys. All right. So, in 2008, ladies and gentlemen, I was backstage here at the Muson Center. It was the Future Awards 2008. No one knew who I was in Lagos. It was a terrible day. I'd come in from Ethiopia. It was a terrible trip. I'd had this shirt I wanted to wear. I'd worn it. It was just a mess. And it didn't look right. I wore this big brown coat with some funny shoes. I got here. I was waiting by the gate. Adebola Williams, who I didn't know at the time, came to the gate. He was busy organizing the show. He sort of looked at me and then and then I came. I sat in the back over there. Nervous. I get really nervous. My manager, Anura, is here. She'll tell you, I get really nervous before events, before I speak or whatever. And then they called me up. I went through the back. Rooftop MCs had performed, and I was sitting right here in the back. And they said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring on MI. And nobody clapped. Nobody knew who I was. Look, it was their right. Who is MI? You remember how you guys were when Naomi was coming up? You're like, yeah, someone sing. Now you're like, Naomi. You remember, right? That's exactly what happened, just worse. It was worse for me that day. And I was sitting there, and I remember I just gone through so much to be in this moment in Lagos. Just so many bus rides, just so many times being arrested looking like a JJC in Lagos. Police say, come here, enter this bus. I'd spend the whole day. I'd just been through so much. And something snapped backstage. And when I walked out, and you can Google it. It's 2008. You can Google the performance, right? It's a pretty cool thing to see if you're a fan of MI. But I walked out on stage. Obi Ezekwesili was sitting right here. She was the speaker that day. I remember T.Y. Bello was in the building. All these celebrities who I've seen for the first time. And I walked out and I said, you guys are going to regret not clapping for me. And I performed. But you see, the key thing about that moment was that I was ready for the moment. See, it didn't matter whether anyone knew me. It didn't matter whether they wanted to listen to me or not. But I was prepared. I was prepared because my whole life I'd been writing songs. I'd been in the studio. I'd been recording. In fact, the song I performed is called Short Black Boy. I had written it 2 weeks before. And because we'd set up an event in Jos called Jam Session, just me and my friends and a few 5 people, I already knew that the song worked. I knew that if I came and I said, the ladies say, ooh, who do this beat? And go down low and rap and really, that everybody be like, wow. I was ready. And so when I saw the topic from hype to impact, I was like, in a country where so much time is spent on branding and packaging and trying to look good, that sometimes it's just about knowing the work and doing the work and being prepared for the moment. Right? Every day, I bump into a young artist wherever I go. They walk up to me. They're so excited. There's a glow in their eye, glint. They come to me. They're like, MI, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Let me tell you, they look good. They have a great belt, great shoes. And they start talking about themselves and their plans and their artists, and they just want a chance. And I understand what it means because I'm a very, very lucky individual. Outside of being lucky to make it in life, you're going to need a lot of things to happen in your favor. Some things would have happened before you were born, your parents, who they were, their view on education, the position, geographic location where you are. I had all these things going for me. So I understand when I stand in front of someone that this is the moment that they've probably been waiting for. And then I'll ask them, show me something. Show me your social media page or share me a song. And all I'm really trying to assess in that moment is this person ready? And sometimes the person, it's so crushing. Sometimes the person is just not ready. They just haven't spent enough time. They don't have a proper context of how hard the challenge is to make it as a top artist. They don't know that they have to be able to record 150 songs every year and keep trying and keep iterating. They don't know that when you sit down with Wizkid always has like 300 new songs that he's recorded. So it's no miracle that he always has a hit every year because he works harder than everybody else, right? And they don't have that context. And it reminds me of Nigeria and how hard it is. How sometimes you just look at this country and you go to yourself, wow, where do we start from? Like, how do we convene? Okay, election, okay, but if we're trying to get the election, we need roads to be, okay, then there's no security, then there's, and all these social entrepreneurs are here and you want to do a good thing, you have a, and maybe as we try to move from hype to impact, we stop worrying only about just how our websites look, how we're dressed, our proposals, and we go back to looking at the people and doing the work, about paying attention, spending the hours, doing the grind, doing that. Because when I walked into the Leap Africa office, what I could sense, what I could smell, what I could taste, what I could cut was this was a group of people that have done the work. I run an organization called Task, and it's a simple idea. We want to change the world through amplifying ideas. I realized that I've had this amazing gift of this platform. And what we want to do is to bring as many celebrities, as many influencers, as many creatives with us to say, hey, if you make it part of your business, put it in your bottom line, get paid a salary to support an NGO or do something, and then use your platform, we can do this together. And I say that for two reasons. Number one, to say to you guys that if you're doing the kind of work and you're going unnoticed and you're doing something really valuable, please let's partner up with Task. Anirez standing up and walking out over there. Let's exchange numbers before we leave. But more importantly to say that when I'm in rooms like this, a lot of times I look at you guys, the people that are trying to change the country, and it reminds me of Endgame, the Avengers. And you guys are wondering, where am I going with this? And I'm going to explain. At Endgame, the last moment, it was Tony Stark, few guys, and they were dying, and they were being killed, and Thanos was like, look, I told you guys, you're going to lose. And they kept fighting, and they just kept fighting, and the thing was falling, and they were like, who has watched the film, by the way? They were like, no. They were fighting. And then, all of a sudden, at this moment, then the rest of the Avengers showed up. And one day we're going to look back in Nigeria, in 100 years maybe, when there will be power every day. And there'll be water. And young kids will know what it feels like to be in a safe country. In a safe country where you can just walk out and play and make music and play basketball. And when that time comes, they'll remember that there was a time. They may not even remember our names. None of us may remember. There was a time that there were Nigerians that kept showing up. They kept going to awards. There were people in the oil company that were like, no, we should set up a fund and put money. There were people at the bank that were like, this is important. We need to get people together. There were the organizations that came. There were all these young people that were like, I have an idea to make the country better. And I will remember that I was there with the Avengers, with you guys, as we try to make this country better together. And I just want to say to us, let's remember that it's about the work. It's about innovating, about iterating, about networking, about looking at problems and spending every day, 9 to 5, in the studio of life, to create classics so we can change this country together. It's been such an honor to share with you guys. Just want to make sure thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Please don't stop clapping for MI. It's the energy for me. It's the energy for me. It's the energy for me. Thank you so much, MI, for that. That was really, really inspiring. We appreciate you for all that you have shared today, and we really hope that someday soon we'll also be one of the Avengers, right? Okay. Let's move on real quickly. It is time for our final speed talk of the day with R. Yvonne Benson-Idahosa, founder and ED of Pathfinders Justice Initiative. Are we really excited? Are we getting a lot from these speeches and all of these things that are being shared? I hope that we are. I saw a few minutes ago someone bringing out her phone and taking notes. I thought that was really brilliant. So if there are any quotes or, statements that are made that you want to write down somewhere, please do that. Or maybe tweet them, tweetable moments, I call them, or just share anywhere. Some things I have heard today, I will put on a t-shirt because it's just super inspiring. Our next speaker, R. Yvonne Benson Idahosa, the founder and executive director of Pathfinders Justice Initiative, which is pathfindersji.org, is a Nigerian native. She's a thought leader and leading expert on the subject of modern-day slavery and gender-based violence in sub-Saharan Africa. She's also a trained English barrister and American lawyer who lends her expertise as an advisor and consultant to organizations as well as state, national, and international governments on the issues of sex trafficking, the sexual exploitation of African women, and gender-based violence. She has served as a consultant to the Government of Nigeria Parliament, the UN Rapporteur on Trafficking, the UK Home and Cabinet Office, as well as to the Edo State Government. Now, in her role as an innovative facilitator and trainer, she has organized multiple high-level stakeholders, national and international conferences and roundtables, including Nigeria's first ever gap analysis on human trafficking and on safe migration. She trains parliamentarians and serves as a legislative drafter. Her work has culminated in the production of Nigeria's first national guidelines for rehabilitation service providers and law enforcement officers, judges, and prosecutors on human trafficking. As an activist, a published writer, and a speaker, Ms. Benson Idahosa has had her work featured on multiple radio and TV news outlets, including CNN, CNNI, BBC, Al Jazeera, and she has been named one of New York's new abolitionists. She is also the recipient of multiple fellowships and awards and has been nationally and internationally recognized for her efforts in seeking an end to gender-based violence. She'll be joining us virtually. So ladies and gentlemen, as she speaks on why it is critical, on why it is the critical minority, aka the Avengers, that will change the African continent, please make welcome Yvonne Benson Idahosa.
Hello, Leap Africa. Thank you so much for the invitation and for the opportunity to be able to join you today to speak on what I've entitled, Why It is the Critical Minority That Will Change the African Continent. You see, I grew up as the first daughter of Archbishops Margaret and Benson Idahosa in Nigeria. And right from the beginning, I knew I had what many often refer to as a stubborn, rebellious nature, although I prefer to refer to myself as having an unconventional streak. When my father gave us, at the age of 4 or 5, the infamous African parent career options of doctor or lawyer, I chose law because I certainly wasn't choosing what my elder brother had already chosen, which was to be a doctor. This was even before I had any idea what a lawyer was. It was this same rebellious, stubborn, unconventional streak that caused me to be labeled a troublemaker in school. The girl that talked too much and asked too many questions that many of my teachers often didn't have the answers to. This was all while I was flying my collar and shaving my hair and watching my mother helplessly pray for my deliverance. In fact, the only reason why I picked up a basketball in primary 5, once my father announced that we would all be going to a small Christian university where he sat on the board of regents, was because the only way out was if we could find a way to pay for university on our own. And so because I picked up the basketball, I practiced, I hustled, I learned to dribble. In fact, I began to dribble so well that even after I got kicked out of my high school boarding house for questioning authority in an inherently racist system within Nigeria, I earned my way out of that Christian university and instead got a full basketball and academic scholarship elsewhere. It was that same gra-gra way, that same willingness to stand when others were sitting, to sit when others were standing, that has shaped the way that I move through the world, that has shaped my perspective and what I see as my life's work, which I often refer to as stretching tight shoes. But that's a whole other story. But essentially what I do is curate space. I create space for women and girls at an equitable table. It is why I do the work that I do with survivors of sexual violence and exploitation at Pathfinders Justice Initiative. It is what has empowered me to not only speak truth to power, but also to speak truth to the seemingly powerless in a world where I've evolved into and become comfortable being a part of the critical minority. So what exactly is the critical minority? I'm sure there are thousands of definitions out there, but mine is a small group of committed people, and some research narrows it down to even 10% of a larger populace who are unafraid to harness and express their own unique creative energy towards a life of purpose and service in a world that often applauds majority thinking and inauthentic expression. The critical minority is made up of people who understand that it is an act of resistance to simply show up as yourself, to unapologetically own and take up your space, and to demand justice, all for the greater good of humanity. They understand that their greatest currency is what they do in the service of others. It is a critical minority that will change the African continent because they are first and foremost visionaries who, rather than seeing the world as it is, see the world as it should be. They grapple with this constant misalignment of birthing their vision into an atmosphere of active resistance that is plagued with old-timers and naysayers who lack the political will to change the status quo. But as disruptors, they understand that, as Frederick Douglass once said, power concedes nothing without demand. And so they painstakingly craft the political will of their leadership so that their agenda starts to shape electoral platforms and political discourse. The critical minority understand that they may have to reinvent themselves, and that they can no longer serve as keyboard warriors, endlessly tweeting and retweeting and blogging. They understand that they cannot remain intellectual cowards, as so many are. They must act. And so, empowered by a sense of righteous indignation, which is often accompanied by a choking fear, they press into their courage and they step into the arena. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, their faces are marred by dust and sweat and blood. They strive valiantly and spend themselves in a worthy cause. They understand that even if they fail.
I mean, for a while it lasted, that was really solid, don't you think? Please your hands together for our Yvonne Benson. Idausa. We will no longer be keyboard warriors. We will move from the hype of typing away and actually making impact. And I think that for quite a number of people, that's very instructive, because you find that we find it easy to just scroll through on our phones every single day, swiping and swiping and swiping, but there's tons of stuff to be done when you actually go offline. And I hope that we're able to figure out the balance somehow. It's not the easiest thing, because truth is, again, sometimes you get insights from some of these interactions online. But yeah, now today we'll have a few more interesting talks that will most definitely inspire you and set you on the right path. And we also will be having another interlude of sorts much later. I want us to please look out for that. In the meantime, I would like to make welcome someone who we are really grateful for. Literally everyone who has spoken here has mentioned how grateful we are for our partners and the great work that they are doing. And so, while you may feel like, oh, well, you know, it's normal, the amount of support that partners like this give goes a very long way in making sure that the work is actually done and that impact is felt, which is the reason why we're all here anyway. If people are not benefiting from what you're doing, then what why are we gathered here in the first place? And so we will take some time to hear from some of these awesome people who have been very, very pivotal to the work that we have done and will continue to do, hopefully. Moving on real quickly, would like to have a talk. Now this will be taken by the chief of party at Palladium, and there is an interesting project that they have, strengthening civic advocacy and local engagement, aka Project Scale. And to walk us through that is no other person but the chief of party at Palladium, Lydia Ode. Your hands together for her, please. The agreement was that we will not stop clapping until they get on the stage.
I did have an opening remarks there, but I didn't think there was any need for me to read that because everybody seemed to have a copy of that. But what I want to say today is to touch on the very important topic that we'll be talking about now, which is countering trafficking in persons. Now, just to give a bit of background, Nigeria last year was what we call Tier 2 watch list. Now, just to understand what that means, there are 3 tiers. Tier 1 is good, Tier 3 is really bad, but Tier 2 in the middle has two components. There's Tier 2 and there's Tier 2 watch list. And what Tier 2 watch list means is that we're not exactly meeting standards, the global standards that have been set. And then there is significant increase in trafficking in persons. But the good news is that this year we moved into Tier 2. So it means that something good is happening. We're beginning to make progress. All the work that we're doing, thank you, and I think, yes, we should clap for ourselves. Because trafficking in person is really, really a menace that we need to all come together to work against. And we're excited to be here today because if we're talking about trafficking in persons, the biggest group that we should be worried about is the youth. And we have young persons in here. And I think as we talk about moving from hype to impact, the impact that you can make very easily is just passing information. And we have great people that will be coming up here to share information with us. And what you can do, you don't have to do much. What you can easily do is go back. I recall Bella Rosa talking about sharing information with your neighbors, with your nieces, with your nephews. Just go back and share those information. You'll be amazed what it means for your neighbor. You'll be amazed how that information you've shared has managed to change their lives. And we're in very difficult times where people are very vulnerable to this menace. So I encourage everyone to listen attentively to the panel that we have today. Take on whatever you can and go back and share that information. And the other simple thing that you can do to help fight this scourge is also speaking out. When you see something that is wrong, when you see something that is of concern to you, please speak out. And that's why it's really important that we're having platforms like this that enable us to understand what's going on and also see how we can help. So as a Scale project, we're very proud to be associated with LEAP Africa that is doing this amazing work with young people. Thank you to USAID for giving us the opportunity to associate with LEAP Africa, and we look forward to continue to support as much as we can. Thank you very much, everybody.
Please put your hands together for Lydia Ode. Thank you. Alrighty. And thank you for addressing the slight mix-up in the programming. Thank you for that, and thanks for your understanding. All right, then we'll move on real quickly. Like Lydia sort of mentioned, we're having a panel session in a bit, but of course we have people who have made it possible for these kinds of conversations to be had, right? You need support. You need people to be behind you so that You just need that kind of support, that big brotherly kind of support, such that the conversations you have carry more weight. And so it will be my honor to welcome the sponsors of the panel session that we're about to have, the Democracy Officer, Peace and Democratic Governance Team of the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, the person of Sterling Roop, as he shares with us Countering Traffic in Persons, CTIP. Please put your hands together for Mr. Sterling Roop. We have forgotten the agreement to...
It's always hard to follow a famous rapper, right? You put a diplomat up here, you know it's going to be not as entertaining. Representatives of civil society organizations, donor partners, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. I'm really honored to be with such a diverse and vibrant group of young people and young leaders today to both celebrate the Social Innovators Program and Awards and to explore ways that youth actions can be operationalized to sustain impacts for Nigerians. And I know Belarosa might get mad at me, but I think maybe we have another hashtag for the day, hashtag hype to impact. I'm also eager to hear the results of the panel discussion on trafficking in persons, which is supported by USAID's Strengthening Civic Advocacy and Local Engagement Activity, or SCALE. We really hope USAID's support today for assembling such a diverse and passionate group will result in real progress as we work towards the common goal of supporting young leaders in civil society to end trafficking in persons. You know, young people around the world face myriad of challenges in seeking access to education and employment. These youth can be vulnerable to unscrupulous actors who seek to steal their futures under the guise of helping them. A better understanding not only of how people are trafficked and why can help us not only address the symptoms, but also address the underlying drivers of trafficking in persons. I look forward to hearing your ideas, not only for understanding the causes of youth exploitation, but more importantly, for sustainable solutions to these problems. In recent years, advocacy groups are exercising their rights to advocate for economic and social opportunities to lead better lives for all here in Nigeria and across West Africa. Thanks to advances in communication, citizens are able to connect and learn from each other in unprecedented ways to inspire change. But as we're here today talking about over and over again, right, it can't just stay online. It has to come into the real world. The work and innovation has led to adoption of legislation that has been empowering youth to participate in the public life. I think we'll have a speaker later who will talk about his experience with the 2019 Not Too Young to Run law that opened the door to younger Nigerians to enter political life. USAID has also supported recent legislation in several states to expand protection for women in public and private life. This year, 2021, the SCALE activity is harnessing this energy and leveraging recent technological innovation to achieve dramatic progress for better results across Nigeria. We hope that these proceedings today advance that progress. Again, I commend everybody for participating today and your focus on complex social challenges. We know these things are not easy, and it takes everybody to get involved, particularly as these disproportionately affect women and girls, and their increased risk of sexual and gender-based violence, early and forced marriage, and trafficking in persons. On behalf of USAID, I thank you for participating in not only today's roundtable discussion, but also the long and ultimately rewarding collective journey we're on here together to make Nigeria and West Africa a more inclusive, safe, and equitable place. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sterling Roop. Ladies and gentlemen, please your hands together for him once again. I'll just take that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we have more than one hashtag. In fact, we have plenty. Hashtag SIPA 2021. Hashtag hype to impact. Hashtag talk and do. Because it's not just talking, we have to do. Can I get a nod? There you go. I see it all over the room. We need to go beyond talking and actually doing. Hashtag offline to online to offline. Somebody agreeing with me? Can I see a wave of hand? There you go. We've got to make sure that impact is actually felt. And so enough of the hype. Enough of the talk. Let's get to work. And let's take these conversations, like Mr. Stellenrup said, to the real world, the real life situations that we see among us. Thank you so much, Stellenrup, once again. Democracy Officer, Peace and Democratic Governance Team, U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. Now, real quickly, we are moving on to the panel session. Who's excited about that? Who's excited now? If you want to holla, holla. I really am looking forward to this panel session, and it will be discussing African youth exploitation abroad. Who is to blame? Government or society and family? It's not all about the how they are being trafficked, it's about the why. Who is to blame? Why are they doing it? Why? What is causing it? We're going to address that today. It is apparent, of course, that the youth in Africa have been victims of varying degrees of exploitation, both home and abroad. And of course, many are still recovering from the pain, the hurt, the damage it's made to their minds and their lives, and the things that these exploitative acts have had on them and inflicted on them. And a few commentators actually believe that the government is responsible for necessary safeguards against exploitation and abuse of young people, while another school of thought opines that the society and family should be the ones to accept the responsibility for this endemic damage suffered by underserved youth. Today, however, our panelists will be sharing perspectives on both sides of the responsibility coin to determine where exactly the responsibility to protect exposed youths lie. The panelists will also offer practical steps that both the government and the family or society can start taking to mitigate this issue of youth exploitation, both home and abroad. I look forward to this discussion. I hope that you do too. If you want to take notes, go ahead and do that. And so without wasting any time, it is my singular honor to introduce our panelists for the day. Our first panelist is Ayodeji Lawrence, co-founder and MD, L Cubed International Limited. Ayodeji is also a professional counselor and coach. She is also the convener of Hannah's Conference and the founder of Grand Core Empowerment Initiative. She's a member of the Network of Family Systems Engineering Practitioners, Nigerian Institute of Management, NIM, and a life member of Enterprise Development Center, Pan-Atlantic University. Please make welcome our first panelist, Ayodeji Lawrence. Our second panelist is Blessing Alagbe. Blessing is a trained and professional advisor with years of experience that spans the underlisted areas: counseling and capacity building, coaching, mentorship, shelter management, empowerment, rescue rehabilitation, recovery, reconciliation and reunion, program developmental, psychosocial support advocacy, and conflict resolution. Blessing is passionate about supporting vulnerable and disenfranchised people, especially the youth, women, and children. She has a track record of working successfully with individuals, families, groups, and communities across different churches, NGOs, CSOs, international organizations like the Salvation Army, the UNODC, UNHCR, GIZ, etc. She currently sits on the board of the AWYO, that is the African Women and Youth Organization, and she coordinates the humanitarian unit of Supernatural Life Center, Lagos. Please put your hands together for our second panelist, Blessing Alagbe. Oh, there she is. Welcome. Okay. Our third panelist this morning, or afternoon rather, it's 12:21 by the way, if anyone was curious. Our third panelist is Ehireme Evans. Ehireme Evans is one who was born and raised in Edo State. In 1996, he was lured by a friend to embark on a journey to Europe through Libya. While in Tripoli, Benghazi, and Sirte, he got involved in drug addiction and sale, fraud, pocket picking, and all manner of vices. He voluntarily returned to Nigeria in 2004 to begin his rehabilitation process. Now, after some years, he acquired a diploma in geology from the University of Benin, UNIBEN, and currently with a BSc in view in environmental science and resource management from NOUN, that's the National Open University of Nigeria. He is also the Edo State coordinator of the Network Against Child Trafficking, Abuse and Labor, NACTAL. He's the executive director, re-educating Africans on the risks and dangers of unplanned journeys abroad and empowering the youth, Raduja, and he's a Human Rights Committee member of the Conference of NGOs, Congos. Please put your hands together for our third panelist, Ehireme Evans. Don't stop clapping. Thank you. The moderator for this panel is the managing director, Edo State Skills Development Agency. She has overseen the setup and running of Edo Innovates, an innovation cluster that is upskilling youth, leveraging on technology to create jobs, and incubate businesses for 13,000 people annually. The Edo Food and Agricultural Cluster is also what she's part of, with a target to impact 8,000 farmers in rural communities each year with improved access to market, equipment, aggregation services, etc. Also, she's a part of the Edo Production Center, which provides power supply, shared factory facilities, and improves skills for artisans and small-scale manufacturers, as well as other job placements and TVET programs. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the moderator for this panel in the person of Ukinebo Daring. Please don't stop clapping. We hope to be joined by one last panelist, but when she's here, Uki will do us the honor of introducing her. Thank you, Uki.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much to our wonderful MC today and to all the organizers. I want to say thank you to Leap Africa for having every one of us here and all the sponsors. Okay, so today we have a very interesting topic to go over, which is the exploitation of African youth abroad. I'm glad to see that the panel is complete. We have a panelist who is a coach, works with young people, and can tell us how, from your perspective, the family can play a better role in protecting our young people and preparing them. The truth is that because of the work we do, we are aware that the second largest, for girls especially, I'm talking from perspective of Edo State because that's where I work. Family pressure is the second largest driver of irregular migration, where you have parents telling the kids, so your mate that has gone, that is building a house, so I don't know, is it two heads they have? Why are you still here in the house fighting with me for the food in the pot? So we know that the working with the families is very important if we're really going to fight irregular migration. We have a young person here who has been through it all, seen it all, come back and is now helping other young people as well. And we also have, okay, we have our panelist that's not here yet, but we'll be looking forward to having that panelist here. So I'll just start with the first question, and I'll start with you, Mr. Ehireme. Did I get that right? Okay, Mr. Ehireme. So we're talking about exploiting African youth abroad. And my question to you would be, what are some ways that young people are exploited abroad? Youth exploitation happens everywhere. Even right here under our noses, there's youth exploitation. But what are the specific challenges of youth exploitation abroad?
Thank you very much, Dare. If I get your questions correctly, you want to know how youths are being exploited abroad. Well, we have a lot of young people with great potentials who don't really believe in themselves. Because I think if they believe in themselves, they will look beyond certain circumstances, and believe that they can succeed here as well. So you leave a lot of great potentials behind, people who would have gone on to become great people in society, and they cross over to the other side. And most times these movements are done in irregular manners. I know when you move into a country in an irregular manner, it denies you a lot of rights and opportunities. So you can only end up being a second-class citizen. You can only settle for the crumbs and the not too dignified jobs and opportunities in the society. So at the end of the day, it ends up being struggle. And the animal world, the weaker ones tends to be consumed, taken advantage of. So a lot of them are being taken advantage of, and in terms of capacity development, in terms of broadening their scopes, in terms of opportunities that are available to them. So we had a lot of Nigerians who are grounded in Europe, in America, in Asia, not really realizing their potentials or actualizing, because when these young persons leave their homes, there are a lot of expectations, there are a lot of dreams, there are a lot of hope, and you hear so many things, and all of a sudden, the moment you cross over and reality dawns on you, it can be very, very demoralizing. And if you are not strong enough, it could just end there even before you take the first shot.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll come back to you to give us some of those when you face reality, we want to hear some practical things. Yeah. But first, I'd love to hear from Mrs. Ayodeji. Blessing. Okay, that's it right there. Okay, yes. To ask you this question, because you're a career counselor and coach, so I'm actually talking to Ms. Blessing right now. Now, we know that typically people who are trafficked are people who are in underserved communities, maybe they're struggling and all that, and they get deceived. That's what it used to be. But more and more nowadays, we are seeing people voluntarily taking part in, let me just get there and I will find my way. I will run, or I will, even educated people, because a lot of people feel like we don't know where this country is going. Let me just go there and see how it goes. So because of that, people say that the victims are now willing participants in the exploitation. So I'd love to hear your own perspective on that, what you think about that. Because if we start to approach this issue that, okay, even the victims are willing participants, they know what they're getting themselves into. I want to know what you think about that school of thought.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that question. I'm very, very careful not to generalize, because that's very dangerous. Yes, we have a few people that would say, no matter what, I want to go. I just want to get out of this place, but we can't generalize because we still find the other side. And also we have a mixture of even the other side, some that are still ignorant of all that it takes. and then those that know a bit, and then those that also know everything that they are going into. So it's not everyone that is involved that knows that, okay, I know what is going to happen, I'm just going and all of that. So I don't want to generalize in that point. Yes.
So how do you think if we want to reach out to the different groups of people,
yeah.
So a person who feels, oh, I'm not so educated, I don't really have career options, so being here is bad, being there is bad, you say it's bad, but let me just go and see what
okay, let me start by just using this analogy I use every time. You know, when you have a reel of thread, and you're not patient enough to unwind it gradually, you have a knot form at a point. So let's see that knot as Nigeria, with a lot of issues, right? Now you want to unknot that thing, you want to untie it. You have to first find a strand. You have to take it one after the other, because the impatience that made you to get it knocked up already will still disturb you from untying. So if we take that and put it in the context of Nigeria, like Emma said, there's a lot of issues. And if we look at it, it will be as if there is no hope anywhere. Where do we start from? And that's the mental state of most of our young people. And whenever I have an opportunity like this, I'm always addressing the mindset. Because if you don't have the right mindset, even here in your country, you will not. And that's why people are running away. You can't see what is working. And the truth be said, some people are making their millions here. So why are you not seeing it? And some other people are coming from every other country into Nigeria, and they are making their millions. So why are you not seeing it? I think that is a question that every young person should ask. So it's not about it being better over there. It is about what is wrong with me. Let me see what is wrong with me first. I like the song this lady sang, Naomi. Fix yourself first. Otherwise, that mentality is still going to affect you wherever you're going to. So that's, for me, it's the first thing. Let's untie it gradually. Take one part, deal with it very well, make it okay, move to the next.
Thank you very much. Ms. Lawrence, thank you. Yes, please feel free to put your hands together for her. Okay, so I believe that let me look everybody in the eye. I believe that nobody sitting down here is a trafficker. And I want to believe that nobody sitting here is also about to be trafficked. So we are just like the regular people, and we want to make a difference. We want to make a change. Every trafficker and everybody who falls victim to a trafficker comes from a family.
Absolutely.
So what should we be doing? How can we make an impact on this issue? How should we be interacting with the young people around us, with other individuals who maybe, whatever. We just want to know, what should we be doing as individuals different? And I'll also come back to you with that question as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We all know that every individual comes from a home, and it's very important what happens in the home. I would just like to throw the question into the room. How many of us here have visions for our homes, for our families? For those of us who are married, do you have a vision guiding your home? We all belong to organizations. Our organizations have its vision, has its mission, has its values. But for our homes, do we have a vision? I think it starts from there. Because if each and every one of us have a reason, a purpose for which the home is constituted in the first place, it will go a long way. If in your vision, you have it at the back of your mind that you want to influence the society, you want to influence the other families, it will impact how you bring up the children. It will impact the things you put in the children. So it starts from the home, and it starts from those of us who are here this afternoon. In our various homes, do we even have a vision? Do we even have the things that are guiding us? Do we even have values that is known to our children, such that when our children stand out or stand up wherever they are, something is guiding them. When they leave the home, something is guiding them. When they're in the midst of their friends, and the friends are saying, let's do this, at the back of their mind, they know, I'm not supposed to do this. This is not what we stand for in my family. This is not what we stand for in my home. And this will always, always go with the children. We always go with the people. So it's important we start from the home front. What do we stand for, even in our various homes? And whatever we stand for will continue, to guide the way the children, the fathers, the mothers live in the society. We can't just... And I'd like to say that when we're even talking about the vision, don't make it so elaborate. Don't make it so grandiose. I don't know how we can, achieve this. Just come together, even with your children. For those of us who are even here this afternoon, for those who have children, you can even start from there. Let's sit together. What do we see about our home? Because it starts from there. If that is in place, we'll find out that when they leave the house, when they leave the home, they won't be exploited because they know what they stand for. They know what they carry. And you can't just bring anything to them and they will hold on to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm hearing you talk about having conversations with the young people around us, even if it's our kids, even if it's other people as well. And I will just say this to everybody in the house, that we also... Sometimes what we call exploitation, we say exploitation abroad. A person has already experienced 10 times of that when they were back home anyway, working child labor and working in unsafe conditions, the people who work in our houses. So we should also be very conscious about how we treat people so that they don't already believe, they're already not conditioned to think, oh, well, that's my lot in life. So if it's happening to me in Nigeria, it might as well happen to me abroad and I'm getting dollars, right? So that's something that everybody should think about. Okay, so I said I was going to bring the question back to you. Thank you so much for that. So, but in your case now, I want it to be personal. So you come from a family.
Of course.
So what do you think your family could have done differently that might have saved you from the things you faced and the experiences that you faced when you traveled the way you did at that time?
Well, to be very, very sincere, I don't think there is anything my family could have done at that time, because I didn't really give them the true picture of what I was going into. I was going one way and I gave them a different picture. But what they could have done probably would be to have investigated if actually the story I told them was true. But then they are still limited because in terms of knowledge, when it comes to migration issues and the processes, a lot of Nigerians are very, very limited in knowledge. So I think at that time what played a very, very big role was the peer pressure. So though it still interconnects the family, like having to be close to your children, let them be open to you, to be able to share anything. And we shouldn't condemn our children when they share something and you discover that probably they didn't take a wise decision or they didn't do what they should have, done at that time, because it gives them that liberty to be continually open, to us. And that's one method I've adopted with my children. No matter what you do, the moment you're able to come forward yourself and share it with us, I can never punish you for it. So because I want you to be continually open so that I can guide you properly. So where we experience gap between children and the families, because of the kind of society we find ourselves today, and also there is a lot of pressure. We cannot overlook that fact. There is a lot of pressure on every family right now. They are thinking of survival means and so many things. So there is this tendency to tend to neglect the children, and sometimes at a very young age, we allow them to carry their own responsibility on their shoulders. Because that's what happened to me. After my secondary school, my own family was not really meeting up. So I now began to have this pressure also to see how I can also, assist my family to measure up. So that on its own put another kind of pressure on me. So I was actually working when these guys came along. And funny enough, I already gained admission to study at Federal Polytechnic Auchi at that time. I forgot about that because I just felt like once I cross, my family is settled, I'm settled, all rosy, 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 and not knowing the true picture. But at the end of the day, I think we still need to go back to our families, not just advising them, but also seeing how we can find a way to pass these informations, to our families, to our parents, to our fathers, to our mothers. We can't just assume that they know what to do, because they too are vulnerable. They are vulnerable. The woman I buy fruit from, a matured woman who should be in her late 30s or early 40s with 5 children. Last time she told me she's looking for somebody to take her to Libya. I was shocked. So if you are now talking about the children, what of the father, what of the mother? They too are victims. So I think we need to find a way to holistically approach this whole thing through using information tools and other kinds of tools that we can use to first of all educate the parents, who will now in turn educate their children.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll come back to you, please. From what he just said, it's much more than, yes, every individual has a role to play. Every individual has a role to play, but it's much more than that. If the pot you're inside is cooking you alive, you will think of jumping out. So government, what role does government have to play in all of this? In ensuring that citizens are not looking for any and every way to escape this boiling cooking pot. I know I'm in government, but don't worry, I can take it. So yes, what role can government do? What do you think government needs to do better and differently?
Okay, okay. The truth is that, okay, you said you can take it. I believe we have a failed government. That's just the truth in so many areas. There are basic things that a citizen must have. I live in Lagos. I pay for everything that makes me comfortable. And that is the standard across Nigeria. At least let's speak for our country. And that is so terrible. Now, imagine you going on the street, and I see that every day in Lagos. You see somebody lying on the road, lying down there. And if you approach, because the kind of job I do, I can't turn my face the other way. Sometimes I approach them, sometimes I just look away too. And somebody is lying down there because he's been hungry for 2 days. And if he goes begging, everybody will look at him and say, you have 2 hands, you have 2 legs, what's wrong with you? Why can't you walk? So there are so many things that are wrong in our government. And like I used the analogy of the thread that is tangled, it didn't start today. It started from everything that we were negligent about. Everything that we ought to do in the past that we never did grew up to become the problems we have today. So if we have to start unraveling, we'll have to take one at a time, most likely. And make sure that anyone we pick out of all of these things, we take care of them very well, and we're sure that is taken care of before we move to the next. Government have laws and policies, but who is following up on those things? It's crazy. What's the point of having laws that cannot be, if you can't enforce? Traffickers, they move a lot. And from every point they move, they have connections. And those connections are followed back to back. And let me tell you, even those connections are their foot soldiers. But they are very careful to make sure they follow them up. Then we have a government that says, I want to change a problem. I put people in charge, but nobody is following up on those people. So everybody goes there and just does whatever they like. I walked in a place. We were going to rehabilitate somebody. And she had 2 kids. One was with the mother, the girl. The other one was a boy that, mind you, came from a rape incident. And then she told us she dumped the child somewhere. For me to stay in this rehabilitation center, I need that child to be taken care of. I said, okay, fine, that's what we do. And then I went about going to get somewhere for the child to stay. Usually we take them to an orphanage. And then I have to go to Alausa, government office. I was there for close to 1 month. So this girl was still outside for almost a month. Because that was the condition she gave us. I would go back and forth. I would take her with me. Let's go. And for every trip I made to those places, I had to pay, unreceipted. Money that came from my pocket. Now, those institutions exist, but nobody is watching them. Somebody said, go to Ministry of this. I went there. Okay, you have to pay so amount for this and this. And I'm like, can I have a receipt because I have to take it back to my office? It's not receipted though. If you cannot pay, just go. And that was the same thing everywhere I went. Even up until the Ministry of Justice, where the legislation is supposed to be done. For goodness sake, what are we doing? Are we deceiving ourselves, or who are we deceiving? Do we want to make this thing work or not?
Okay, thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for her? Now, I love the passion that you're speaking with, but I have a question, okay, to that. I'm going to bring it to you. Because I meet a lot of people who speak with this kind of passion. If I even begin to speak, I'm glad I'm a moderator because that puts me in a very nice corner here. So, but the truth about it is, I would say for some of the issues you raised, maybe just relocate to Edo State because we have it much better there. But there's a reason, and that's because people who are truly passionate are being pulled into government. But from the little time I've spent in government, I can tell you that even for me, for anybody who is truly serious about changing Nigeria, in most cases, we want to have nothing to do with government. But as you have said, you cannot get it right if the people who are there with all the power making the laws don't care. No matter how much impact you think you're making, and that was what I learned when I finally got in there, no matter how much you think you're making on the outside, if government doesn't care, if government is not working, if it's full of people who don't have any passion, that the pot is cooking everybody, you're busy thinking of how you want to close the cover so that they can cook well, then nothing will change. So how do we get more people like you, more people like the people I'm seeing on stage today, to be interested in taking up the mantle, taking up the baton, to actually make the change from inside government where the problem can really, really be changed from the root? I'd love to hear from you.
I may not be able to say much about the government, but I'll just share a little experience I had about 3-4 years ago. I was coming from Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, and I was on the flight. And I was privileged to sit beside a young lady. And when I got into the plane, I found out she was uneasy. You know, she was breathing heavily. She was just looking, she looked very much unkempt. And I went with a friend. She was meant to sit in the middle, but being that she was on the big side, I told her to sit on the aisle while I sat in the middle. So I happened to sit beside the lady. And when I saw the way she was reacting, I asked her, I hope you're okay. She said no. Then I went further to ask. I said, what's the problem? She said, there's no problem. I'm okay, I'm fine. And I said, no. I'm not going to leave you until you give me a response because you told me you're not okay. So I'm going to stick with the first answer you gave me. And by the time I pressured on, I asked her, she now told me she's been deported from Dubai. And the first thing that took me aback was, so where's the person that is with you? You know, why are you allowed to just sit alone? I thought you're supposed to sit at the back, maybe with an officer or something. And she said no, that she came from Dubai to Nairobi, and from Nairobi a connecting flight to Nigeria. So I asked her, I said, what's happened in Dubai? And then she narrated her story, you know, a commercial sex worker and everything. She had nothing. Her passport had been taken. Just her deportation certificate had been given to her. So my heart skipped a bit. I said, okay, so where do I start from? What do I do? So she was very hungry. I offered her my food. She ate my food. She ate her own, and she slept off. So by the time we got to Lagos, so when she woke up, she said there was another lady on the flight who had told her that she shouldn't worry, she'll take her up again. So I said, okay, thank you for telling me that. You're not going to go with that lady, you're going to come with me. But in my head, I'm like, what do I do? How do I go about this? So immediately we got to Lagos, I tried to make a few calls, there was nothing. So I just remembered, okay, my church, we do a few things like this. So I contacted one of the pastors in church and said, okay, she should come. So we got to church. She stayed at someone's house, overnight. But before I left that day, she remembered her husband's phone number. She was actually married with 2 children. And we called the husband, and the husband was like, he's been looking for her, that he just wanted the wife. And that was the truth. He didn't know where exactly she was, And after the conversation, that was on a Wednesday. By Friday, she left for Benin. And by the time she got there, fortunately, the husband took her back. And after some time, I just reached out to her. What exactly do you want to do? What exactly would you like to do now that you're back? And she said she wanted to start a salon, and do that. I said, okay, we won't start with a salon. Can you just sell hair products, attachments, and things like that? And she started with that. And as at the last time we spoke, she's gotten her own salon. She's had people working with her. And I think in the middle of the year, she called me. She said, Mrs. Ayo, I just bought a land in Benin. I just bought a land. By the time I want to do the foundation, I'd like you to be there. So, like she said, it starts from the mind. There's so much we can do here in Nigeria. She left here for wherever. She didn't even work. It was her first outing that she was caught. And she had to come back. And the same country where she left, she's doing well for herself and helping other women. So it starts from the mind. I tell people, if you did BSc, BA, BEd, you can all do well. If you have the right mindset, you can make it. You can be the best you've been created to be. And like she said, fix me. We all need to be whole. To get the best out of whatever we are doing. If you're whole, you'll be able to get there. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll take that as your closing remarks. I'll just take 1 minute from you as your closing remarks, just the general thoughts on what we're talking about. Okay. I'll take 1 minute from you as well, and then we round up. Thank you so much.
Closing remark, I would say everybody is involved or should be involved in countering or dealing with trafficking matters. The government, the laws you enact, enforce them. Anyone that is not working, that is obsolete, throw them away. Don't be sentimental. Make new laws and follow through on them. Then create social amenities for people. Let them be comfortable staying in their own country. Let them be proud to be Nigerians. And then for the families, don't put pressure on any child. You gave birth to that child, take care of it or her. Whatever the child can bring is a plus, not that the child becomes the breadwinner. That is so wrong. The society, please, let's not turn the face the other way. Let's not turn our face the other way. It's not right. In every community, you'll find somebody that needs something. Whatever you can do, nobody is saying take care of everybody's needs. The little talk that you give to a little child, a secondary school child, you'll be shocked at the point where you start talking with people, how they will open up to you. People come to my house every day, 5 a.m., somebody is knocking on my door. So many things. So please, the little we can do. Let's not also have the wrong mindset towards everybody we see on the street. This person is going to exploit me, or this is a thief. He's looking so rough and all of that. You don't know their story. Let's engage people at their level, and let's see how we can render help. Because, see, the truth is that whatever we refuse to take care of today is coming back knocking on our doors. And we don't want those things to come knocking at us. Thank you.
Yeah, you asked concerning government leadership. I think they are a major part of the problem. And until Nigerians begin to wake up and begin to ask questions and begin to make demands, we will just continue to run what they call circus show. We'll just be running around, because we have a lot of, like one of my co-panelists, we have a lot of persons who knows the implication of being trafficked, what is out there. When I was in Libya, I saw somebody who tried to cross the sea. Their boat capsized. About 5 of them survived. She was brought back to Nigeria. 1 month time, she was back to Benghazi. She wants to cross again. So what message do you have for such a fellow? So, but if the home front is conducive, there are opportunities. You don't need to talk much. You don't need to start chasing people up and down. So I think we need to stand up. Abraham Lincoln said, those who make peaceful changes impossible only make violent revolutions inevitable. So I think we need to look at the inevitable, what we need to do. We can't just continue to fold our hands and look. Today we talk about America, we talk about UK, we talk about countries. People sacrificed their lives. We have people who can stand up. We have people who can speak for others and say, this is what we want as a nation. This is the kind of society that we deserve. So let's begin to look at this issue of governance. Let's begin to look at the people who rule us. Where are they coming from? What are their antecedents? What are their plans? You told us this thing 2 years ago. Now, 2 years in your government, what happened? What happened? You should be able to go to your senator's house, House of Rep member, House of Assembly member, and say, oh, God, you are representing us. What is going on? Personally, wherever I find people in government, openly I challenge them. Whatever wants to happen, we will all die once. Whatever wants to happen, let it happen. So let's learn to speak out. And let's learn to stand for the truth. Because that's another problem. An average Nigerian will always point fingers. But when he gets to his own turn, he will never do the right thing. So the problem has many heads. So let's look inward. Let's look at ourselves. Let's imbibe the right values. And from there, you see the society will be better.
Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you. In summary, I think I would also take my own closing remarks. I would say from everything that we've said today, first things first, I think government, the message is you have to do better. Find people who are serious about the work that needs to be done and get them in. But the truth, which I have to say, the next tier is the citizens. Because we cannot keep waiting and waiting until the day we find somebody that truly cares in government. What we must do is hold accountable whoever is in government at the time. Now, one thing I know for sure is that a lot of us do not know the power that we have on this tiny little thing right here that we use to vote. Many people believe that my vote doesn't count. They have how they rig it. That's not the topic today, so I'm not going to go into it. But I'll just tell you that if you are not registered to vote, you don't know what you are giving away. If your vote didn't count, they won't spend billions upon billions buying wrapper, giving 5,000. What are those things they give during election? Bread and whatever. If they could just go somewhere and write it, think about it, they would have kept all those billions. They're already spending money ahead of the next election. And you think your vote does not count. Go and get your PVC so that you can vote in people that really care about what should be happening in government. Because until you have an overwhelming majority of such people, we will keep having conversations like this and the pot will keep on boiling. Now, that's to citizens. To parents, from what we've said here today, I will say, don't be judging mixed judges a lot. Whatever your kids tell you, you are the judge and jury to say, how could you think of such a thing? Who said it in your class? Oh my God. No. Let your children be able to tell you what they're really thinking. And also, as much as you can have a positive influence on them, see them as positive agents out there, because it might just be something they say that stops their friend too from going into something that's very dangerous. And then if we look at it on the other side, as individuals, you might not be at risk, you might be comfortable, your children might be comfortable, but it might just be your neighbor's child. It might be your neighbor's help. It might be the gate man You never really know the person around you that's going through hell and just needs a word, just like you did in the plane. Just like you did in the plane. A few weeks ago, a young lady walked into my office crying. The story is just too long of all the horrible things she has been through. But the height of it was that her stepmom and her cousins were now planning. They had finished all the plans on how she was going to be trafficked already. Then she overheard it when they were finalizing it. But because she knew me and I had been supporting her, working with her to kind of build a better life, she had somebody to run to. But what if we met totally by chance? So there are people around you that you will meet by chance. That's the way you met that young lady on the plane. As individuals, just be more conscious, be more careful. And please, in closing, I will say, be very interested in being a part of government, because that's where the real change will start from. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Put your hands together for this awesome panel. Can you just stay for pictures?
Okay.
Yes, just for, there. Thank you so much. That was a very beautiful one. It was brilliant. It was insightful. It was packed. In the meantime, for us physical attendees, we'll take a slight breather and have a spoken word presentation. So please put your hands together as I make welcome Rabbi for his spoken word presentation. We need a mic stand, please, for the poet.
Thank you very much, and good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I feel like am I a couple of years ago right now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the organizers of this event for the opportunity to share my work this afternoon. I've come to realize that a lot of us, me inclusive, over the years we've been slowly losing hope in our country, Nigeria. And all because of good reason, because of the things we've gone through as a people. But one of the things we've heard today over and over again is that we all have a part to play in making this nation become the country we want to see it be. And the poem I'm sharing with us this morning, I'm sharing two poems. The first one is titled The Dream. And the main goal of this is to help spark hope in the hearts of the average Nigerian that there's something we could do to create the change we desire. The Dream. I can hear the bang bang of angry arms blazing, the voices of hungry children crying, the whispers of hurting hearts beating, sound of Mother Africa waiting for her giant little baby. Maybe the horror from that heartless possible is taking a toll on the beats of our hearts. The hurt, the pain is stealing her joy like a thief. This one of us, she be like, because tempers the lies that we do. It's never something the character of the state is trying to choke us, make us lose our focus, change our locus of existence, bow down and chain. But I refuse to hold my head and just complain, because they didn't come empty, I didn't complain. I contain the solution to this nation's situation, and I choose to rise and not compromise, because I have a dream. No matter the contradiction of the sun, I have a dream. In this dream, the land is green. So with eyes wide shut to the challenges in my vicinity, I begin to envision the future reality, painting portrait pictures on the canvas of my mentality, dreaming of streets filled with smiling faces, beautiful to behold, with sounds of laughter echoing through the nooks and crannies, daddies, mommies, grandpas, and grannies sharing in the carefree joy of toddlers and babies. Maybe this might just be the birth of a new reality. I see the sun rising on the horizon, revealing the sight of skyscrapers and slums, modern schools and highways in the ghettos, the emergence of a new nation, blessed with innovation. Is this just a figment of my imagination? Call me a fool, but I believe deliverance is certain. In this Egyptian and Red Sea situation, I see an emancipation. What will it take for you to believe? What will it take to spark your desire? That we walk on water, call down fire? We are all musicians in this grand orchestra, and I choose to play my part, strumming my guitar to the sound of this Afro beat, with the hope that one day we will live a high life, free of ethnic and religious strife. I choose to talk right, walk right, and live right. In this dark tunnel that seems to have no hope in sight, I choose to be the light, because I have a dream. No matter the contradiction on the scene, I have a dream. And in this dream, this land is green. And even with the dream on ground, I've come to discover that it really take people that actually care. People that care for this nation, people that care for the people, to really, really see the change that we desire. I'd like to share the second poem titled Love Revolution. I heard the sound of nations crying. Innocent blood spilled as factions clash. I saw a child rejoicing. She found breakfast in the midst of trash. Tales of suicide, homicide, and genocide. These are the latest trends. Hunger, famine, starvation. When will it all end? Streets filled with blood-thirsty children armed, ready to kill. Little daughters giving a grown man sex what he barter for a meal. The weed of corruption grows in the farmlands of humanity, choking the very crop of our existence. Selfishness and greed masterminds this insanity, disguised in the costume of hypocrisy and pretense. I refuse to wear the marks of passivity. While destruction rises like a raging storm, give the enemy an invitation through inactivity. Sit back and watch as evil takes form. Why play host to thoughts of inadequacy like, what difference can one man make when one man is really all it takes? I sense the wave of resurgence, the marching sound of a resistance with love in your hearts, like Mother Teresa willing to love till it hurts, ready to mute the silence, starve hunger and famine, wage war on violence. Who out there could hear? Who could hear this clarion call? Who could rise above their fears? Join this army, for we need all. Perfume someone today with the fragrance of sweet words. Encourage someone today, watch their gifts bud. Treat a miserable pauper like a real highness. Share your lunch with him that hunger. Be aggressive with your kindness. For creation awaits a solution. Desperately desiring love's affection. And with acts of kindness as our ammunition, together we can birth a love revolution.
Please don't stop clapping. Do not stop clapping. Your hands together. Woo! A standing ovation. Incredible. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. Whoosh. That was something, wasn't it? That was something, wasn't it? Not to worry. We are slowly winding down. And in a matter of minutes, we shall be done. I just need to emphasize that the breakout session that I mentioned earlier is specifically for our virtual audience. And so they have moved on to that right now on Hopin. But we can, of course, take advantage of the physical, the faces we're seeing here by also networking when the time is right and when we're done with everything else, the award presentations, etc. So please have that at the back of your mind, all right? Moving on real quickly, would like to take a very, just give us a second, please. We'd like to take a quick address, a fellow's address, a brief one in the time that we have. And this one is coming from the Director of Sustainability and Governance at Sahara Group, Pearl Uzokwe. Your hands together for her, please.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen. I know for those joining, some people joining online, we have, for example, a Sahara Foundation chairman online. I'm saying hello to him and to all of you. It's a great view from here. Actually, I do feel like I should be congratulated going up those stairs and not tripping in the first instance. Pretty, for those women, I'm sorry. But honestly, it's just to start with, it's been a fantastic morning of beyond inspiring. There's nothing like just seeing true life examples of people who are doing the work. People who are doing the work. So before I even start, I just want to give a round of applause to all the 40 innovators who are in the room. Could you actually just stand up? Let's see who these people, can you all just stand up because you all are doing the work. Thank you. Thank you. So you can sit. So honestly, I think you can already see that I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here because this is our very first one, and it gives us a lot of hope, right? So I'm representing Sahara Foundation today, but I'm going to start off with just showing you a couple of our people who are actually in the room. So can I have all the Sahara individuals? We have various people, from our HR director to our various technical heads. Please just stand up for a second. I want to show you what I mean by the support is here for you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And can I please have Maria, just for those who are in the room. Maria is one of our sponsors and our supporters as well. Please, could you just stand up for a second? Thank you, Maria. And guys, bear with me. There's a reason for all of this. It's so easy, especially with all that has happened and is happening in our country, to focus on what is negative and what is not working. But what we are doing and what we've decided, and what I love about the theme for today, which is saying you're going from hype to impact, is that you're basically moving on to what can we do? What are you doing? So before I even start, again, I want to say a round of applause to those who Leap Africa, who started this 9 years ago, and their partners, Union Bank, who are as well here. Because what we acknowledge is that this work is plentiful, and we cannot do it on our own. So why are we here? Sahara basically is commemorating 25 years this year. Please, I'm sure some of you have seen this. 25 years. And, as you get older, what do? You start to introspect, right? If you're trying to think about things, you start to introspect. And for us as Sahara Group, we said, okay, we've been running our foundation, we've been running our organization for this number of years. What do we want to do differently? How do we want to ensure that we're taking sustainability further? And with that in mind, we basically refocused the thematic areas for our foundation and said we're going to now focus on ensuring that we have initiatives that are promoting access to energy, ensuring that we have initiatives that are promoting a sustainable environment, because it all aligned with where we're operating. So you know that we are an energy company, we're an oil and gas company, an infrastructure company. And when I talk about putting your money where your mouth is, I'm proud to say that I've been with this organization for about 12 years, and in that time have seen it grown. I'm not saying this as a case of just promoting an organization. I'm saying this to give you all here, the social innovators, those of you who are entrepreneurs, just that hope that it's great to have African-owned businesses that can operate multinationally. So Sahara is operating out of 4 continents now. It's in Europe, in Asia, Africa, and of course the Middle East as well. We are incredibly proud of what you're doing. So the Sahara Foundation decided that we were going to support social innovators in this space and thought of no one better to go on this journey with than Leap Africa, who've been doing it. And we specifically are focusing on innovators who are in the access to energy space and sustainable environments. So the good thing about speaking later is that actually you get a great sense from those who've spoken before. And I thank those who've spoken before, because the truth is, so many of the things they've said really resonated. And actually, a few of them were part of the things that I wanted to speak to today. But I'm hoping that when you hear them or I mention them, you don't look at it as they're talking about it again, especially for you innovators. You just look at it as these are people who are perhaps in the trenches, who are doing the work, and they're saying this over and over again. Please, sometimes you don't need to learn from example. You want to be learning from what people have seen as they've gone before you. So one of the things that I wanted to speak about today for the innovators and pass on to you is, please, as you go about with your innovations, I would really just ask that some deal of introspection is done. Introspection done in terms of what it is you're basically looking to solve. You know, we were very passionate about this because we saw this, Sahara being an entrepreneurial company, it seemed like a fantastic marriage. You've got social innovators who are marrying social impact with commercial viability. But I'm asking you, as you go on this journey, because it's very much a journey, we had earlier speakers talking about it, they've done this for 40 years. You will modify, you will adjust your ideas, you will add, you will subtract. Please take a moment to be true to yourself. Look at what it is you're trying to achieve. Look at yourself and ensure that it's aligned with your purpose. And what do I mean by that? I think for every one of us, you know when something is connected to your purpose. Those things that excite you. If you're asking me if what you're doing is connected to your purpose, it's not. And I say this because I know sometimes people get very discouraged. It's like, oh, we're talking about, it's the motivational speakers talking about, oh, what can you do? Follow your passion. Hunger will kill me, right? The truth is, people will have various things that drive them. But I'm saying for whatever it is you're doing, please do not do it solely for the money. You're in this game and there are grants, there are people promising you things. We're in a country that has challenges. The sustainability, and I obviously sustainability, the best way of sustaining this country and moving it along is ensuring that we have businesses that are thriving. You do that best where your purpose is aligned with what you're doing. You will know it, you will feel it because it excites you. You would do it even if you were not being paid, but it's fantastic to be paid for it and for it to be viable. So please, I plead with you. If you have things that you're doing that you don't feel as aligned to, I say modify it. Look for that angle that will ensure that you have the sustainability that will push you to keep going on and on and on. That's the first thing. Then I wanted to speak about, the mindset. The mindset for all the innovators that are here today. And it was something that we wanted to infuse into our program and said we had a governance unusual. What do we mean by governance unusual? Again, we in Nigeria, we love talking about our problems. We all know what the problem is. We sit down at dinner, we talk about it. We sit at our friends' houses. It always starts with the problem with Nigeria, right? And you have several things. But the truth is, we all have to, again, tell ourselves the truth about our mindset. And I talk about this being unusual from the perspective of all of you as business owners. So oftentimes when people talk about governance, they're talking about policies and processes that you're going to put in place in your organization. All of you will be running enterprises. And I'm just pleading with you that as you go about doing it, I beg you, the most convincing thing comes from the mindset of the person who's running that organization and that enterprise. It starts from the very top. Do the right thing. Be willing to do the right thing. When your employees see that you're walking the talk, it makes it a lot more convincing. It has the opposite effects when you're doing the opposite and you're asking them to do as you're saying, but not as you're doing. Not as you're doing. And, for those of you who are also going down this pathway, one thing I'd like to encourage, and we were very keen on this, being as we're Pan-African, is ensuring that we have people from different parts of Africa on this fellowship. And it's wonderful to be here and to see different faces and see people represented from all over. And I ask you, as you go on and you become alumni, please support each other. This is not the time to start, looking for how you can get one over other people. I think it's fantastic where you can look around and just decide that, look, the work is plentiful. I can learn from this person. I've seen an opportunity that could benefit somebody else on my program, maybe not myself, and I will share it. I mentioned that this is a partnership between Sahara and we've got the Ford Foundation, we've got IIF. We could have said we wanted to do it on our own, but we just realized that the SDGs, 17 of them, in a country with 200 million people, as well as the others, there's a lot of work to be done. So this is not the time to be selfish about it. It's to look around and just think, how can I ensure that we're galvanizing and scaling up the supports, the enabling environment, to have as many of these as possible. So honestly, this is not a speech. This is just a chance to say that Group Sahara Foundation is fully behind all that is happening here today. We're excited to be joining this work. We very much believe in this continent. We've put our money where our mouth is, and programs like this give us a lot of joy. So we just want to see you all go forth and celebrate 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 in the years to come, and we'll be here cheering you on. So congratulations again, and thank you so much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, your hands together, please, for Pearl. Your hands together. Okay. Awesome, 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 awesome. Like I said earlier, we are gradually coming to the end of this awesome event. But before then, we've got some interesting people who have joined us today, and we appreciate you for taking the time to actually join us. I think I saw somewhere in the audience, Olakbeju Ibekwe of Sterling One Foundation, the ED of Sterling One Foundation. Your hands together, please. Also, I would like to recognize Sade Morgan of Nigerian Breweries. I would like for you to please applaud her as well. She has been very, very supportive. For the past few years that SIPA has been in existence, Nigerian Breweries has been very instrumental in helping us deliver excellent workshops to all our fellows, and we appreciate you today for that. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to clap, clap now. Thank you. Okay, so real quickly, would like to, some people are a bit anxious at this point. Tell your neighbor, calm down. Tell your neighbor, calm down. It is time for us to present the awards. It's the time we have been waiting for. Smile now. Even if you are wearing a face mask, smile. Don't tie the world to your chest. Just smile and, hope for the best. The first award we'll be presenting this beautiful afternoon at the Social Innovators Program and Awards 2021. Don't forget to please tweet about this. Share pictures on social media. Like I said, tweetable moments or 30-second Instagrammable moments also can be posted with the hashtag LeapSIPA2021, hashtag hype to impact, hashtag talk and do. And so today our first award will be presented by the head of strategic communications of at Union Bank, Kemi Ogunleye. Can we please have Kemi Ogunleye on the stage to present our first award of the day? This award is presented by our awesome partners at Union Bank. It is the Union Bank Outstanding Fellow Award. The Union Bank Outstanding Fellow Award. I'd like for us to have an Oscar moment. So we'll announce the winner together. Alrighty. The Union Bank Outstanding Fellow Award goes to
Velveeta Viban. Velveeta Viban.
Congratulations. Please don't stop clapping until she gets here.
Velveeta, congratulations. I'm just going to read what it says on this plaque. In recognition of your remarkable growth and exceptional conduct during the Social Innovators Program. Well done, Velveeta. I'm honored to present this to you. So shall I do this over here? Well done. Congratulations. Do you want to say something?
Okay. Catch your breath, girl.
Okay. First, resilient cohort. Bravo. My name is Velveeta Viban. I'm the founder of I'm Human organization. I'm human, we are all human, you, I, regardless of where we all come from, we're all human. And that is what LEAP has represented for me throughout this journey. I remember when I saw the post go up for the SIP program online, and I commented under that there's no Cameroon. And 2 days to the closing, they included Cameroon on the list.
Wow.
And I happened to be selected and be here and be the only female from Cameroon on this program. So, if anything, this means a lot. So thank you, Leap Africa. Thank you, my resilient cohort. You guys kept me on my toes. Trust me, every single one of them in this room is doing amazing stuff. And they are the reason why I pushed myself throughout this journey, because I learned a lot from every single one of you. So thank you for inspiring me.
Congratulations, Velvita. Congratulations.
For someone who wasn't prepared, she certainly. Well done, well done.
Well done, and thank you so much, Kemi. Thank you. You've gotten the memo. Thank you for that applause. You can, I guess. Congratulations, Velvita. Okay. Now, to continue in the award presentation, I would like to make welcome our partners from Sahara Group, Group Head Human Resources, Yvier Adigun. I'd also like to welcome Yvier Adigun Imasogie and Jumoke Ajayi, Head Exploration Asharami Energy, a Sahara Group company. They will be presenting the Sahara Impact Fund Award. So this Sahara Impact Fund Award is for the SIF, Sahara Impact Fund, Outstanding Fellow. Could you please come to the middle? Thanks, ma'ams. The SIF Outstanding Fellow Award goes to Dami. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dami. All right. Who has anything to say?
It gives me great pleasure to present you with this award. We already know you very well in Sahara, so we might have to employ you at this rate. But congratulations for the things that you've done and for this recognition. Yeah, I wish you the very best as you move forward. Yeah.
Please, your hands together.
Congratulations, Dami. Yeah, you deserve it, because all you put into everything that was discussed with you shows that you deserve it. Congratulations, and I wish you well as you go on.
We now go to the awardee for comments.
I'm so happy for this. And I want to say thank you to Sahara Foundation, Sahara Group. And I really want to dedicate this award to my mentor right here. Aww. She's my mentor, and she has really helped my organization to scale. And I just want to dedicate this award to you. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again. Your hands together for her, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. A picture with the check. Is your property. Congratulations, Damilola Ashaleye. All right. Thank you so much. You can please make it back to your seats. Okay. Thank you so much. The next SIF award, the next SIF Outstanding Award, will be presented by Pearl Uzokwe, Director, Governance and Sustainability, Sahara Group. Your hands together for her, please. This award is also going to be presented by Anthony Udue, board member of the Sahara Group, Sahara Foundation. Please your hands together for him as he makes his way up here. Now, this next SIF Outstanding Award goes to, the SIF Outstanding Award goes to Tayo Oyinlola. There he is. There's a step. Yes, you can just take that. Anybody got comments?
Congratulations, honestly, to Tayo. I know your partner's here as well. I think, really, we've said it all. We are here because we believe in what it is you all are doing. We're here to create an enabling environment for you. We're here to support you. This is what we want to see. So please, go forth and make yourselves proud, make this nation proud. Continue to do what you're doing. This is just a token of our appreciation. So, congratulations again. You want us together, right?
Does Tayo have anything to say?
Yes, I just want to say thank you very much for this award. I'm very proud to be a Sahara Impact Fund Fellow. And I can't wait to keep on doing more to make you proud. Thank you.
So sweet. Congratulations. Please don't go. Anthony and Pearl, please remain there. You will now be joined by Sheyi Ojurongbe, Manager, Sahara Foundation. There. This next SIF award is presented to Sunday. Applaud them now. It isn't easy. Ghislaine should join. Ghislaine, are you in the... There you are. Chibunna. Oh, Chibunna is virtual. And Kabir. Is Kabir here physically or virtually? Okay. Oh, yeah. I think that's Chibunna. Congratulations, gentlemen. She want to say something? You should.
Congratulations, Sahara, our inaugural Sahara Impact Fund Fellows. We are very excited about this journey. I remember 2020 October when we had the first call with you. We were looking up with so much excitement, partnering with Leap Africa and the likes of Union Bank on this. Congratulations once again, Ghislaine, all the way from Rwanda, Sunday from Oyo State, Kabir from Kaduna State, and we have Chibuno, who is currently in Paris on another program. So everybody was outstanding during this program, and we say well done to you all. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just say a big thank you to Sahara Foundation for this opportunity, because to me, it sounds like a dream, because I'm sure Nami can remember, we were in Edo State when we saw the application online, and the person said, let's apply for this. I was like, let's give it a shot. And I never believed, and we give it a shot. I was scared. I was, because they did interview you. I remember that interview, they nearly finished me doing the interview online. Especially Pierre and she, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to make this final cut. But here we are today, 1 year is gone. Thank you for that opportunity, and I promise that we will not miss this opportunity. We'll do you guys proud, and we'll you guys great as we grow up too. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And worthy of mention is the fact that all four of them will each get $2,500 each. $2,500 each. That's $10,000 altogether. That is a very good place to applaud. Congratulations, gentlemen. You can all make it back to your seats now. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Please, your hands together for the awardees. Well done, well done, well done. Our next award is the Pamela Hartigan Award. The Pamela Hartigan Award. If you want to clap, clap now. And it is going to be presented by Ms. Rabi Isma, Board Member Leap Africa. And our guest speaker, Emma Abaga. The Dr. Pamela Hartigan Award goes to Dr. Abiodun. Don't stop clapping now. Keep clapping until Dr. Abiodun gets here. Congratulations. Anybody have anything to say?
Congratulations to you, Dr. Abiodun, for this award, which is a truly special award for Leap Africa and the program SIPA. For me, as a board member, it's been an incredible time just seeing what young people are doing every single year. We have SIPA. It's an inspiring time, and you are an embodiment of that, all of you. So congratulations to you for this award.
So thank you. Actually, my special thanks to Leap Africa. Looking at since 2018, I've been a fellow, and now it has been a good journey and a great journey. Aside from the fact of all the training that has been provided, all the partners they've introduced to us to support our work. It has just been really great. And my special thanks to Indidi for starting this award in honor of Dr. Pamela, and I think it's a good thing, and I look forward to great impact and great partnership we'll continue to have with Leap Africa. Thanks.
Congratulations once again. Do we have enough pictures? Alrighty. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much. Miss Rabi, thank you so much. Okay, we'll just keep the ball rolling as fast as it already is. And we have a very short video that we are going to watch in a second or two. And it is from one of our honorary awards as well. And it's from the daughter of the late Mr. Sheyi Bickersteth, former LEAP board member. And we'll hear one or two words in a second or two from Melody Bickersteth in her father's honor.
Hello everyone, hope you're having a really great and inspiring day. My name is Melody Bickersteth, and together with my sister Amy, we wanted to share a quick video before the presentation of the Sheyi Bickersteth Award for Financial Accountability. We first and foremost want to thank Leap Africa for all the work that they have done and continue to do in highlighting and harnessing the potential of exceptional thinkers and doers across the continent. My dad was a big believer in the African dream, so when Leap approached us with this opportunity, we really leapt at it because we thought it would be such a great tribute to him and really reflective of his core values of integrity, transparency, and financial accountability. So that being said, thank you so much to all the nominees this year. We had such a hard time judging. We really appreciate you sharing your incredible stories and can't wait to see what you do in the future. And to the winners, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a really great and inspiring day. My name is Melody Bickersteth. And together with my sister Amy, we wanted to share this quick video before the presentation of the Sheyi Bickersteth Award for Financial Accountability on behalf of our late father. First and foremost, we want to thank Leap Africa for all the work that they have done and continue to do in highlighting and harnessing the potential of exceptional thinkers and doers across the continent. My dad was a big believer in the African dream, so when we first had this discussion about this award with Leap Africa, it just seemed like such a fitting tribute and so reflective of his core values of transparency, integrity, and financial accountability. So thank you for this opportunity. To the nominees, thank you so much for sharing your stories. It was also incredible, and we had a really hard time judging. And to the winners, massive congratulations. Can't wait to see what your future holds.
Thank you, and that's where the message ends.
From this year, we don't want International Youth Day to just be about.
All right, well, we'll come back to that in a second or two. We need to give this person or the persons their award before we go back to that. And so to present the Sheyi Bickersteth Award, I'd like to make welcome Kehinde Ayeni of Leap Africa. I also like to make welcome Mr. Udeme Ofot of SO&U, as well as Kemi Ogunleye of Union Bank. Kehinde Ayeni, Leap Africa. Kemi Ogunleye, Union Bank. And Mr. Udeme Ofot, Board Chair, Leap Africa, and MD CEO, SO&U. It's just shiftivity. Thank you very much. Now, the Sheyi Bickersteth Award for this year is presented to Oluwatomisin Kolawole. And Damilola Ashaleye. If you are going to clap, clap now. Congratulations. Congratulations. Anyone wants to say something? Mr. Ufot? Okay.
Thank you very much. I must say that this is a very important award to us in Leap Africa because this is in memory of a very distinguished member of our board, an accomplished and distinguished professional who served not just LEAP Africa, but he served Nigeria diligently. He was a most dedicated board member, and I must mention that the day before he died, he had just finished a board committee meeting that he was preparing for the board meeting in 2 days' time. And that is the mark of the man that was Sheyi Bickersteth. May God bless his soul.
Oh, well, I was trying to pass on the mic to one of the winners, but it's great. I must say that Mr. Sheyi Bickersteth of late memory was an outstanding board member. He was a board member for many years, and he was very dedicated. He sat on the finance committee, and for a non-profit like ours, who's constantly looking for support and has financial responsibility to our sponsors and partners and funders, it was very important that we had such a dedicated, brilliant mind in the person of Mr. Bickersteth. This is a very special award that was created in his memory. We do not take it lightly. And for these two people who have emerged as winners, I must say that this was intended as a one-winner award. But because of the brilliance of these two people, it had to be a tie. And that's why so much has gone into splitting the... Actually, it wasn't split into two. The Bickersteth family has invested more funds, actually, to ensure that these two people are recognized today. And thank you so much for living on his legacy. Thank you. I think you guys can say a word or two.
Yes, please. Don't worry, bring it. Let me help you hold it. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow. Thank you so much, LEAP Africa, for recognizing our efforts. And this effort is iterated from what you've been teaching us for the whole year, being sustainable and being accountable for everything we are doing. And we say thank you. And I would like to do a dedication again, because when I did the interview for this, I knew that part of you will remember I had like terrible network technical challenges. I wasn't myself. And my husband, who is right here, he was actually a very good support during that time. After the interview, I was like, Jamie, I didn't do well. He was like, Dami, I could hear you from the next room. You did great, and you're going to get this award. And I want to dedicate this award to him. Adeyemi is right there. He likes sitting at the back, but he's always the one pushing me forward to say, Dami, yes, you can do it. So I'm dedicating this award to him.
Can we see Mr. Ashala here, please? Let's see him now. There he is with that nice filler. All right, let's hear from Kolawole.
I'd like to say a very big thank you to LEAP Africa and the family of Mr. Sheyi. I learned he was really an exceptional person, especially in finance, and it's really an honor to have this award. I'd also like to thank all the facilitators of the SIP program, my mentor who seated there, and my fellow Resilient Court members. Thank you.
Congratulations once again. You will need help to carry this your award home today. Oh. Your hands together for them, please. Your hands together for them as they take more beautiful pictures. Really, really awesome. Really awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay. I believe that we have yet another video that we want to share. Congratulations to the class of 2020, 2021. We'd also like to say welcome to the class of 2021, 2022. Your hands together, please, for both classes. Thank you very much. Go through the brochures that have been shared to see some of the amazing ideas that some of these innovators have come up with, the names as well of the organizations, and other very useful information. It would interest you to know that in November last year, 40 emerging innovators were inducted into the SIPA fellowship. And after 1 year, these vibrant individuals have completed the requirements for the fellowship and are still running truly sustainable businesses, strengthened by an unwavering resolve and commitment to their initiatives. They have recorded exciting progress in the last year. And as I mentioned earlier, Leap Africa is proud of the achievements of this class, and we celebrate them as they graduate from the fellowship. Class of 2020-2021, can I get a whoop whoop? Together, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Velvita Biban,
Oh,
and I am the founder of I'm Human Org, a social enterprise in Cameroon. I'm proudly a member of the SIP cohort 2020. If the Social Innovators program has taught me one thing, it will be R, to reach for my goals. E, excellence, to expect excellence in everything that I do. S, to set up standard operating procedures, policies, code of conduct. I, to be inspired by the mentorship program that they put in place. L, to learn new ways to constantly improve myself as a leader. I, to work on the I, my personal brand, and that I matter, my mental health matters. E, to expand and empower teams to scale beyond just the now and across the African continent. N, to nourish, nurture, and never give up on my passion, even if it requires me starting small. T, timing is of the essence. As change leaders, we have to be on time, poised to take on the world.
Absolutely. All right, we'll come back to that in a second or two. We need to, at this point, announce to you the fellows for the class of 2021-2022 will be unveiling the new set. In fact, that video that just played was for the new set. Of course, Velveeta is a part of the outgoing set. So thank you for that short speech on resilience, which you learned at SIPA for the past 1 year. And so for this new set, with support from Sahara Foundation, Leap Africa and Union Bank have, of course, maintained expanding the number of fellows to West Africans. And so it gives me great pleasure. I do not see Kemi Ogunleye here. I don't think I can continue without her here. So I might need her. We need to announce the incoming SIPA fellows, class of 2021-2022. So we could do that real quickly, induct them into the fellowship. Do we have Kemi coming? We do not have her coming? Okay, so Kende might have to do the honors. I'm saving you for something special towards the end in a matter of minutes, so you might just... So Grapevine has it that class of 2021-2022 sort of, decided that the outgoing fellows should have the stage today. They have joined us virtually, the majority of them, but we have about 1 or 2 fellows here with us. So welcome officially. We will make sure that you do not miss out on that awesome induction, which also happened virtually. And so moving on real quickly, would like to take the valedictory presentation from 3 of the outstanding fellows this year. So can I please have Taya? Can I please have Omotoke? And Velveeta.
On behalf of our cohorts, I just want to say thank you very much to Leap and the SIPA team. It's been an amazing year. I've learned so much over the course of the year. Before the program started, I just had a couple of ideas, but, this program has really helped me to, hone those ideas and be able to really do more. And we really appreciate the team and the fact that it was virtual, and they still managed to, make us do all that we did and, have the workshop sessions, the webinars, just keeping us accountable. I think they did a really fantastic job. And as a cohort, we really just want to say thank you. And at this juncture, I'll just invite Omotoke and Velveeta because we want to make a little presentation to the
to Leap Africa.
The team.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much, Leap Africa and Sahara Foundation. And we just want to give a token to just show our appreciation and for everything that we have learned so far. So we want to present this award of appreciation to Leap Africa. Ma'am, Ms. Kende, can you please?
Please put your hands together as Kende makes her way up
and
here.
If all the fellows can just come up, so we just take a quick picture with all the resilient cohorts. Let's just come up and take a quick picture.
Yes, please, stand up. Don't look around. Don't look around. Stand. Join
this
them.
award of appreciation is presented to Leap Africa.
Please make it the center
for
of the
their
stage.
outstanding support, mentorship, and resilience under the Social Innovators program. Thank you.
If you want to clap, clap. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you.
Also, we appreciate if you can have Catherine, Rume, Yomola.
Catherine,
they have
Rume.
been so amazing. Just take a quick picture with them all.
It's not too long. This is a memory that we are trying to document here. You will look back on these pictures and just, be thankful. All right. Let's try to be as snappy as we can be with that. We've got one or two more businesses to address.
Pearl, please, could you wait for a few seconds, please? Thank you.
Busted. Congratulations once again, class of 2021-2022. Thank you guys so much. Well done. I'm sure that the Leap Africa team are grateful for your presentation.
Also, sorry, on behalf of the Sahara Impact Fund Fellows, we are also presenting for, please, guys, you can join us. Please join us for the Sahara one. So on behalf of the pioneer cohorts of the Sahara Impact Fund, we are inviting Pearl, Sheyi, and my mentor. Do you have your mentors here? Okay, my mentor, Mrs. Olajumoke Ajayi, can you please join us? We have this award for you for your outstanding support, mentorship, and resilience that you show to us under this program. Please, we would like to present this award to you.
Thank you so much.
As a pioneer cohort.
Alrighty. Can I have that mic before you make another presentation? But congratulations once again and good job with regards to presenting that to both Leap Africa and the Sahara Impact Fund. Class of 2021-2022, will we leave here tonight? Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Well done, well done. All right. Someone has decided to help me out on this since nobody offered. Yewande, Programs Manager at Leap Africa, is here, and together we are going to do one more very important business before we get the vote of thanks delivered. Hi, Yewande, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. All right.
So we will be presenting one last award. This award is a very important one, and it borders a lot on the panel session that was had today and the number of things that we are also trying to address this year. It is the Countering Trafficking in Persons Award of Excellence. You want to add to that?
Yes. All right, so we're recognizing an organization that has made outstanding commitment and contribution to addressing trafficking in persons. Like we heard from the panel, this is a very critical issue that we have in Nigeria, and so we want to ensure that we are showcasing, recognizing, and appreciating organizations and individuals that go the extra mile to ensure that individuals who are at risk or who have been victims are well taken care of, rehabilitated, and then brought back into society to be successful. So for this award, we're going to be recognizing an organization that is a faith-based organization as well as an NGO with a strong international connection. The organization was started by Sister Patricia Egbulem in 2013 after working with many anti-human trafficking networks such as the African Network Against Human Trafficking, Global Network of Consecrated Persons Against Human Trafficking, and the Committee for the Support of the Dignity of Women, to which she was a founding member in the year 1996. Wow. This organization has a shelter that can accommodate 30 survivors comfortably, in addition to a bungalow for mothers and their children. And this organization has been able to rehabilitate 78 survivors and reintegrate 20 women and 2 men. Wow. Now, I would like to recognize the organization Bakita St. Louis Empowerment Network. And to receive this award, we have our Reverend Sister Bridget Wankwo, Project Manager, and Reverend Sister Angela Oyema. And now I'd like to call on Mr. Sterling Roop to come up and Lydia O'Day to please come up and present the awards to our awardees.
Put your hands together, please, for Bakita St. Louis Foundation. Your hands together.
Please, let's recognize them. Countering trafficking in persons is not an easy task. Yes, please. Please come up.
I think we've heard everything. I just want to say thank you so much, sisters, and your sisters in the work that you're doing. I mean, these are the people that are really bridging the gap. You know, there's a lot that needs to be done in this area. Government is doing their best, but there's still a lot to be done, and people like Sister and her sisters are doing so much. So thank you very much, and I encourage you to continue to do the work that you're doing. Thank you. I'm honored to present this award to you.
Congratulations. Want to say something, sister?
Yes. On behalf of our organization, Bakita St. Louis Empowerment Network. Actually, when we got the message, I would say, wow, in our own little world over there in Ikpaja, who has fished us out. And our coordinator, Sister Patricia Bebulem, is not here. And as you just heard about the brief of our organization, we have that capacity of rehabilitating 30 treasures. We actually call them treasures because of the stigma, and we believe that these are treasures. Because His Holiness, our Pope, had asked us, what are we doing concerning the outbounds that are just over there, being trafficked, being tortured? And that has given us a lot of challenge. And with that, we set up this treasure. It has not been easy to run a treasure, but we are happy that one of our supporters, Amabel, is here, who has also been accompanying us in making sure that, yes, this project is achieved. And we're very happy when we heard the panelists, say something about human trafficking. I think it is the second evil that is really biting our society after the drugs. And it's very terrible. As we try to combat it, the traffickers are faster than us. But we are not going to stop there. The Eminence, Cardinal Okoje, had said that, yes, even if we might not be able to stop it, but we should keep at it. By the special grace of God, very soon it will be a thing of the past. Amen. So we want to thank the Leap Africa for recognizing us in our own little way. We are just doing it quietly, just like Mother Teresa, not knowing that we are impacting lives and trying to rescue them and all that. So we thank you very much for this wonderful honor and award that has been presented to our organization. And we are assuring you that we are going to keep at it and that we are not going to step back. Instead, we are going to forge ahead in making sure that human trafficking will be stopped. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much and well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again. Congratulations. Thank you. Please, your hands together for Bakita. You're welcome. Please, your hands together for them as they make their way back to their seats. Thank you so, so much. Alrighty. At this point, we'd like to sort of wrap things up this afternoon. Have we had a good time so far? Have we really? Have we really? On that note, I would like to make welcome the COO at Leap Africa in the person of Femi Taiwo to please give us the vote of thanks. Kemi, you've done a lot today already.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can call me Kenny also. My surname is Taiwo, so it's very easy to mistake Kenny and Taiwo together. Without further ado, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for making our time to be here today. I want to start by saying thank you to all our partners. One of the quotes I like the most is a quote by Robert Schuller. In fact, the attribution is quite weak. We don't know who exactly said it. But he said, you can count the amount of seeds in an apple, but you can't count the amount of apples in a seed. And that's very fundamental. The work we do with the social innovators is as such, basically. Each of the innovators and entrepreneurs that we invest in, that we inspire, that we enable, goes out of the program to do amazing things. Things that, yes, our monitoring and evaluation team tries to quantify in the hundreds of thousands of people they reach every year, but much more than we can quantify and qualify. They are making impacts in communities across Nigeria. And even now that we've welcomed a class outside Nigeria, they're making impact across several countries on the African continent. And this has been made possible because of partners such as Union Bank, who has been there with us for the past 8+ years, and Sarah Foundation that joined even recently to help to scale up this amazing work and outstanding work, and Ford Foundation that has been a long partner with Leap Africa for almost 18 years, staying behind us, staying invisible behind us to advance our work, to scale up our work and sustain our work. So thank you to all these three partners. More importantly, we started an exciting work this year in our quest to support and enable young people. We got excited and got introduced into the CTIP work and its CTIP network. And I'm excited to just appreciate the support of USAID and Palladium in the amazing work they're doing through the SCALE project. Coincidentally, the SCALE project was a year old, just yesterday or 2 days ago, right? So this is just 1 year of amazing work. And I know we have four years to go and even more years to go beyond that. Can we put our hands together for the USAID and Palladium? Thank you. And I just want to thank all our mentors. I know that we have a couple of them still in the room, but a couple of them were here in the room, and quite a number, virtually every one of them were online. This work is made possible. I mean, yes, we do a bit of the training. We do a lot of market linkages and connecting, but a lot of hand-holding, a lot of support is provided by the mentors on the program. So can we put our hands together for the mentors of this present class, and even the repeat mentors that we've had. Thank you so much to all the volunteers that made today possible, those who are physically here and those who are also online. Thank you to all the vendors, Kojito, Mami Foods, and all the people that are supporting the work in the background. More importantly, I just want to say thank you to all the LEAP team members, those who are here working within the room, outside the room, working in the background, online. Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you so much for your commitment. In this very challenging year, there was a reason why we called this class the Resilience class, because it's the first fully virtual class. And even though we started with 40, we couldn't graduate everybody because quite a number of things happened. It was a very disruptive year, carrying on for the disruption of last year. But thank you for the resilience. Thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for, just keeping on, even despite your individual challenges, and for allowing us to be hard on you to complete those assignments, complete those profiles you had to fill and everything. Thank you so much to the fellows for all those hard work. And you've earned it. You've earned all the results and all the outstanding accolades you're getting today. Thank you, LEAP staff. I've said thank you again and again. Thank you, Rume, the senior program coordinator for the program. Thank you to the entire SIPA team, Catherine, Yomola. Thank you to all the other people like myself that are supporting in the background, the comms team, the procurement admin team, Kenny, and all the operations team. I mean, I don't want to start mentioning names, but thank you so much to the LEAP team. We're grateful and very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Femi Taiwo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtains of the award ceremony for LEAP Africa's 2021 Social Innovators Program Awards. Once again, the hashtag of this conference will be LEAP SIPA 2021. Let us please keep the conversation going on social media. If you take nice pictures or you have anything that you have perhaps taken from today's conference, please share with all your followers on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on your WhatsApp status, and make sure that you also interact with the community on social media at LEAP Africa. I would love to have your feedback as well on this year's conference, your favorite sessions, what you like the most, the panel sessions, if you need information about the awards itself, the fellowship, etc. Would love to know what parts of this really interest you. So we will be sharing some information online, so please look out for that on social media. And thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the rest of your week, your day, and the month of October. My name is Bella Rose Okoje. I have been your host for this awesome event. Have a great day, and God bless you.
Them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill, them no fit kill, them no fit kill my wise man said, follow the stars, there you shall find a piece of advice. If you hit your enemies, enemies shine. If you're not a friend of me, enter the light. Cause you can never kill my vibe. Got here with no sacrifices. Everything was taken, still had to make it. Vibe killer, me I no go take shit. Vibe killer, bloody somebody time, protect my energy.